just a ghost in a song.
Take me to it. Just take me to it. Take me to it. Just take me to it. Take me to it. Take me to it. Just take me to it. Take me to it. Just take me to it. Disco.
Alrighty.
Epic.
Yeah. Well, it's day 14 of the community league, and that hearing that song 2 times a night, 3 times a week is it's an experience. Let me tell you what. Welcome everybody to as we said, day 14 of the SteelSeries Community League Major League. I am Edge of Insanity, and I'm joined tonight by Scott Sterling. B-Ted is out for this evening, so it'll be the two of us tonight as your hosts for these series of games. And quite the series of games I think we have tonight, Scott.
Yeah, first we're going to be blessed with the absolute beautifulness of the game of the 2 and 3 teams in FHS and Tomatitas, which should be a good one. Followed up by the 1 and 4 teams coming out of the top four, also just top 4 teams in this league so far. So, Baylift and Popcorn should be pretty interesting to tight knit races for this top of the point standings. As those top 2 teams guaranteed physical prizing, and a lot of teams are gunning for that so far. And these matches tonight are made pretty important in terms of securing the bag.
Yeah, and at this point in the season, we're getting down towards the end of it, so every win matters when it comes to where you're going to place and how you're going to be seeded for the playoffs. And with J-Lift currently on top, with 20 points, they've got 5 wins and only one tiebreaker loss, overtime loss, and 1 actual loss. And then with Popcorn, but Popcorn's kind of one of those enigma groups in the sense that you're either going to get an incredibly good Russian team, or they're just kind of having fun and playing around. So it'll be interesting to see which team shows up tonight. But our first match between number 2 and number 3, I think, will be very good, a good series to watch, because Thromatitos, they started off kind of slow, but they've really kind of come back and made a serious contending play for this top seeding. And FHS has been, I think, the most solid all-around team that we've seen so far, as far as their individual gameplay goes. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty interesting, this first match here. Tomatitos, there's some hot tacos coming off that big win. They popped the Popcorn with the heat radiating off of that taco meat last week. And they're going to be looking to extend that run here tonight in their bout against FHS. FHS also having some pretty strong performances this season. Last week, playing Flippy B, they did not tech loss this time, which is a pretty good start for them. And we'll see how they're able to do tonight. The winner of this match has a chance to be the number 1 team in the league if Popcorn is able to take down J-Lift. So.
Yeah, and honestly, even if Popcorn and J-Lift go into an overtime game and either FHS or Thromatitos wins outright, it should put them at least into first place. So a lot riding on these 2 games tonight for these 4 teams. But we've got a pretty good series of maps tonight, I think. Let me take a look and see what we have. We've got, it looks like Ghost Town, Sand River, Himmelsdorf, Proc, and then the tiebreaker is Cliff. So,
always a fan of a Cliff match. I don't know if we'll see it, but
I think we will.
Always a fan.
Yeah, I think Cliff is one of those maps that it comes down a lot to individual player skill, but as we've seen just from some of the wins that we've seen recently, that the individual strategy matters as well. But I think, if anything, I would expect these two teams to go into overtime. Um, I feel like it's more assured that we're going to get an overtime game with these two teams.
Yep, both two incredibly solid teams here. We could definitely see them go into overtime. In overtime, especially going on Cliff, you never know what's going to happen. So, I mean, one thing I like sitting here looking at the stats, although I do realize that one of FHS's losses came from a tech defeat against absolute Zane Chads of Flippy B picking up their win in their fashion. FHS's attack win rate of 74% is actually kind of nuts.
It really is.
It's higher than their defense win rate.
Well, and the only change that they've made, the only change they've made to their team this year was switching Sly Guy for Dark Ninja. Everybody else has played for that 74%. So it's been a solid team from the beginning. And I mean, on maps that, in my opinion, seem to be more slanted towards a defensive posture, 74% is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. I mean, they've played maps like Mines, throwing a few out there that's just very defensive sided, but they're able to pick up these wins nonetheless. I mean, even Tomatitos, who they're tied with in points currently, only a 48% attack win rate. So, I mean, that's just something you can you look across the map right there, and you're like, holy cow, that's just not close.
And just looking at the numbers of battles played too, FHS, they've played almost 9 games less than Thromatitos, and that really and that comes down really to just the fact that their wins haven't gone to overtime. They've just been straight up 5-0s, 5-2s, and they haven't been particularly close games. So Thromatitos, I think, has a bit of an uphill climb, and yeah, as we can see on the screen now, we've got our map picks. So Ruinberg and Mines have been banned by FHS and Thromatitos respectively, and then we've got Ghost Town, Sand River, Himmelsdorf, Proc, and then of course the tiebreaker on Cliff. Now, just as an FYI to our viewers, we are getting about 17% frame drop. We're not sure if it's the mod currently or if it's the Viral's internet. So do bear with us a little bit if things jump around a little bit.
I'm trying to look into it. OBS shows me dropping 19% now, so it's slowly increasing. Just so
that's not a good sign.
No, I don't know why. I've checked all other programs. The only thing I could try, it's a little late now, is resetting the router, but that would take us offline for an extended period of time.
Yeah, we can go hands on with it if we needed it.
Yeah, we can figure it out if things get to the point that it's needed. But we have started the timer for the battles to start. Scott, what do you think our scoreline is going to be?
I'm gonna go 5-3 FHS.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the same. I'm gonna stick with you on that. But as we go in, we're gonna have FHS with a 50B, 2 E100s, and 2 Batchats. Thromatitos bringing a 60 TP, a 277, a Super Conqueror, a Batchat, and an STB. And Thromatitos with that recent pickup of Bloop, and FHS with the pickup of Dark Ninja. So an addition of 2 really good players to both of these teams. It'll be interesting to see how they fit into the established mantra that these teams have. Oh Jesus! Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay.
So I think one thing that's interesting here, we're going to be seeing a 60 TP coming in from Tomatitos here. It's plays similar to the E100, but what it does have is a bit more gun depression and ability to play hold down positions, more so than the E100. We're going to see it be going up to that ramp position with a kind of a south opening from the defense here, as well as a south opening from the offense. We should see some action opening up here very quickly if we get to see anything at all. Also important to mention, we got 2 absolute epic Chad gamers in the bad chats between Dark Ninja and Vova here. They've shown incredible skills in that tank, And we're seeing some shots now open up here, I believe, under the STB, as I can't see. Oh, nope, it's
Oh
on the
no,
Sheep.
yeah, it's on Sheep.
Sheep
Sheep is gonna get picked apart there
And-
real quickly.
I wasn't for sure. I think that was actually blind fire. I hope Sheep didn't get spotted there, but I think they could have actually picked him up with complete blind fire, just knowing that that tank was there. And that's going to be a huge takedown for Tomatitos. You know, they're down a tank now on this map. You're going to see a north rotation now come out from these E100s, and they're probably going to look to make a 2-cap play as they're able to maybe leave a bat chat there and rotate out with the other and use the advantage that they have, you know, a complete pick on the defense, try to stretch them thin.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was blind fire coming in on Sheep because he did drive into that that pretty apparent bush area right off the bat. So a bit of a misplay, I think, coming from Sheep, but ultimately, you know, when you're going against Dark Ninja and Vova, you're gonna end up eating quite a few shots like that.
Yeah, a lot of homework coming in there from FHS, realizing the tendency maybe of Tomatitos to put a tank in that position. A bad chat rotating out now, as I mentioned, from the side of FHS, going to stretch that map pretty thin. They're actually going to be able to play the advantage here, and notice that the defense can't possibly cover K and A line, while also holding the center. And we probably could see an A line play here from Dark Ninja, maybe checking to see if they have someone at A4. See, maybe they have someone at C5 checking that cross. Once he determines that there's no one there, maybe he pushes to A4. But we do see the STB now from the side of Tomatitos rotating across. We see Bloop in the backfield back there. Moving up to D1 here, he's going to be kind of covering a 60 TP. Maybe he does try to cross to A4 here, but he won't make it in time as we are seeing Dark Ninja now cross this field, making the play toward A4.
Yeah, and by putting Dark Ninja up there, they can definitely cover the 1-cap with the 50B, neither of them getting separated. Bloop possibly could put a bit of pressure there, but he has to play it right. And when he's got a 50B and a bat chat that he's facing off against, it's not a winning situation for him. He really needs to make sure that he doesn't overcommit there, otherwise he'll just get picked off pretty quickly. There's just not a lot of cover in that area at all. The Romatitas, though, even though they're down a tank, they're down by, oh gosh, almost 2,000 HP at this point, but they did manage to get a couple shots into Vova, which evened things out a little bit. Bloop, though, now in the brawl with Dark Ninja, if we get the slideshow to work. But, you know, Bloop, though, he's playing the SDB correctly. He's using that gun depression. He's using the DPM that tank has to be able to put some shots into Dark Ninja. And I'm not sure if Dark Ninja is
this
reloading.
is actually pretty big because Dark can't clip Bloop out. He bounced a shot on his turret here. Dark putting a shot and 2 shots down here into Bloop. Bloop going to be able to trade one back here very quickly as he's not actually able to. Bloop going to overpoke here. No shots coming from the sitter onto him. He knows he has to finish off Dark Ninja before he's able to get away here.
And Dark is going to get out. Yeah, he's going to get out just in time. Bloop is going to drop to 407 HP, and I think Bloop. We had a bit of a slideshow there, so I think Bloop either missed or bounced a shot. But Bloop though picks up Dark Ninja there. Sneaky peek there as Tank Destroyer in the 50B tried to get up here to get a reset or to put some pressure onto Bastion in that 60 TP.
Yeah, perfect style going to be moving up into this S-Conk. Looking to play on this corner against these 2 E100s. We also saw that the 277... Oh, he's getting pushed on here. Now these 2 E100s pushing up off the cap here. Built different first out and his E100 on 1,000 HP. Shots getting put into perfect style here while also Tank Destroyer 590 and the 50B be able to pick up Bastion there. Perfect style down to 1,045, bouncing a lot of shots here on these 2 E100s. Needs to make as much work as he possibly can, but we're getting a huge slideshow effect here. The 3v4 in favor, and as I say that, it's now a 3v3 Sebastian. Looking to push in here with the 60 TP. The disadvantage of this tank here is that he doesn't have a lot of pin to exactly work against these E100s with, as Vova is able to push in there and pick up Fluky. Now just all that's left is Loop and his STB other than Sebastian. Sebastian here in this 1v3, Vova going to be able to put some shots in here on the side of him. You know, not much hope here left for the side of Tomatitos, as FHS was able to play this pretty well after they get that first pick on that bat chat.
Yeah, and with that, all that's left is Bloop, who, though he did manage to pick up Dark Ninja, he just does not have enough HP to chew through all these tanks.
Apparently, it was a pretty bad slideshow.
Oh no, it's really bad. Yeah. If you give me like a couple of minutes.
Well, I mean, the streams are running, so we can just kind of keep the stream running as long as we delay the next game a little bit to let you reset your router. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We don't have to kill the streams. We can just kind of chill with a black screen for a moment while you reset everything.
If you want to try that, and if that doesn't work, I can cast in game because I have the mods and stuff ready to go. Like I just get the logos and I can set that up.
Yeah, we could try switching towards that. It's just going to take us. I'll try. I'll try and do the restart. It's going to take me like 8 minutes. So clicked if you want to come in, join in, and try and add in some stuff. Keep the stream alive
Okay,
while
you
we
guys
try and fix
talk
these technical difficulties.
while things are going, and then I'm gonna open that screen, and I'm gonna try to at least get my in-game stuff ready, just in case I have to do that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You know, it unfortunately due to technical difficulties, so we do apologize to the people who are watching that it is a little scuffed at the moment, but we will be back momentarily.
Yep. So in the meantime, we'll just gather around the campfire and sing some campfire songs or something. Because
and when I get back, the match stats will be broken because there won't be a way for me to add in the first battle into the fantasy stuff for the end of match, like total damage calculations.
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate, but
I'll be back.
We'll make do. And in the meantime, we'll sing some CAMPFIRE songs.
Absolutely.
User disconnected from your.
So, what? In the interest of kind of though keeping things on track a little bit, what did you think of the last match that we had?
Pretty excellent homework done by FHS. They knew where Sheep was going to be sitting, and they took advantage of him big time. He got absolutely deleted in very quick fashion, and that gave the offense a pretty huge advantage. That even though the bat chat situation with Dark against Bloop didn't go very well for them, it didn't really matter because the lead was already just so huge that they were able to pick up that pretty convincing offensive win. So it was a pretty good win there. I think that I was honestly more impressed by the way Tomatitos was able to make the game semi-close. But,
well, yeah, I mean, losing Sheep early like that, it puts them at such a major disadvantage. Like, just because with 5v5, every tank matters just so much more than a normal 15v15 game. So I think that Thromatitos tried to make the best of this, like, just a losing situation that they were in. Because losing Sheep like that definitely hurt them tremendously.
Yeah. I don't actually have Tomatitos logo. I'm going to use a filler logo tonight.
It's okay. I'm logging into the game and I don't have any of the mods installed, so we're gonna, if we need to, we'll take advantage of that.
Probably a good thing because that could probably be causing the issue.
It's entirely possible.
It's a brand new set tonight.
Well, it's a brand new set, and we just had an update.
Yep.
So it's entirely possible that the mods themselves could be breaking the stream. When
no, it shouldn't be the issue.
Small production values, big errors. Oh well. Hopefully Viral is able to get things fixed, but I'll log in here in just a minute. Clicked, and we'll get things set up. And yeah, Jack, scuffed as fuck. Feels bad, man. Is accurate.
Really sucks. Harambe is going to be the logo for Tomatitos tonight.
Their spirit logo for tonight.
What's their underscore? What?
Throw.
Underscore.
Throw. Yeah, underscore throw.
Yep, Harambe is the filler logo for Toma, because I guess I haven't casted them. I haven't casted them yet. Huh, interesting. So, yep. I think everything is actually ready to go.
All right.
Is it worth talking about the last games we had? All the 5-0s?
No. I think also good that happened. Oh, that's just because I have the other scene on.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to tune in a little bit to the last game's clip. If you could send me an invite to the training room.
I'm gonna need one on my main account.
Yeah, it's one for my main account as well, just so that way we have it as a backup, just in case. But yeah, I had the opportunity to tune in a little bit last week, to watch some of the games, and every single one was a 5-0. It was kind of crazy there, actually.
Yep.
User joined your
We
channel.
also, off stream in a match, we got to see a tortoise get a win.
Yeah,
was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the tortoise is kind of a ridiculous tank. I think Wargaming might have overbuffed it, and people are kind of starting to realize it.
Wait, it got buffed?
Well, it got buffed a couple patches ago, but it's one of those tanks that like nobody really plays.
Yeah.
You know, you play it on your route to the 4005, and then you get the 4005. You don't really think about that
Oh, you
particular
play the
tier
tortoise
9.
on the way to the badger.
Or excuse me, on the way to the badger. Yeah. Oh God, it's been a long day. Oh, are you back?
Yes,
Does it work?
I restarted my computer and it looks like it might have just been a computer problem, not actually a router problem.
We're computers.
Fun
Gotta love 'em.
times.
Oh, that was unfortunate. We were going to see Harambe as Tomatito's logo.
Yeah, Edge has he's showing his age with thinking back to when the FV215B 183 was a thing, and the tortoise leading to that, and the drastic gameplay shift you had going from essentially a T95 to a 183.
Yeah, it's you know, they've changed so much around on the tech trees since I started playing in 2012. That it's kind of hard to keep track of it sometimes, you know, because once you go down a line, you don't really relook at the line per se.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it was all 5-0s though. Like, I guess it's just the way that things matched up. But I'm, you know, seeing a tier 9 though pull off the win like that is pretty.
And the
fucking
way
great.
it happened.
Yeah.
That was the. That's
Like,
the
full
the
clutch
real
win.
Kicker. Yeah, permatracking the E100 on the corner and holding him there and
Oh.
then killing him, dude. That's like, I don't even know what to say. I mean, that's like
I
getting
really
to the
wish.
ground by your 80-year-old grandmother and slapped until you die. It's just
Like, I really wish you guys had done a listen-in on for them, because the language that must have been uttered by them.
I'm
Like,
sure. By both teams.
in just a normal like pub match, that would be enough to get somebody tilted. I can't even imagine like when you're doing a competitive line how that would feel.
Yeah, no, it's I was just, I mean, if that happened to me, I may uninstall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. In all honesty, I feel the same way. Like, it's one thing to lose, but it's entirely another to lose in that fashion. You know, and I mean, more power to the tortoise player. It was a great match to watch. That's for sure.
Oh, it was something to watch. Absolutely something.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
What?
The ScoreView, how I can't even talk. ScoreView tools program that we have is
Saved
even
it?
better than I thought.
Oh, it
Oh,
saved it. Oh
Yes.
man, look at that.
Okay, well, we'll see. You're not dropping frames?
No, it's now down to 0.
Okay, so I'll just stay in here.
Yeah,
Actually-
I'm gonna keep my my client up just in case we have to like switch to that. But
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
should.
if we run into problems one more time, I'm not going to force people to sit there and watch the slideshow. You guys will have to take over. It's just the way it is.
Okay, everybody
Oh.
remember my master volume is at 57.
Now I get it. So just as an FYI, Scott, in on your stream, you've got the overlay with
Oh, the old overlay.
with the old overlay.
Yeah.
So Jack is going FHS throwing a 5-4. Now I understand
Wait,
the
was
reference.
it actually an old?
It says popcorn 5v4 Flippy
Oh,
B,
okay,
and
never
then match 2
mind.
Moist 2 and 2 with J-Lift.
No, never mind. No, it's just I literally just put an old image up on the stream because I didn't want to show like my monitor the whole time.
No, I agree with you. I flipped to one of my my
Yeah.
just blank overlays, but looking at that after battle results screen from last game, built different and Vova each popping about a little over 3k damage. Vova picking up a kill. I'm pretty sure that was the kill on Sheep. 89% pen ratio. Dark
Okay.
Ninja, even though he died, he still managed to pump up 2300 damage. Melancholy stayed full health actually that whole game and still did 2100 damage, and Tank Destroyer with 8800.
Yep.
Excuse
Bloop
me,
got his
88,
farm up.
886. Yeah, Bloop though. Well, Bloop managed to catch Dark Ninja completely alone, right? And
Yep.
when
Killed him
Dark
full health
bounced
for nothing.
when Dark bounced the that STB, it was kind of just free farm at that point because Bloop knew that he wouldn't be able to die from Dark clipping him out. So
Yep. And also, we got pretty good damage spread from FHS, except for Chase and his 50B. He'll only getting out 2 shots. And from the side of, ah, dang it, I've got notifications on, but
Oh,
I
well.
don't have notifications on this slide.
I made sure to make sure that my Steam was forced closed, so that way we wouldn't get notifications.
Notifications on the bottom right.
Yeah,
I
the
can
bottom,
see
the
it.
bottom
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So and so has started playing Among Us. You know, it's a great way to broadcast your friends list there, and you know, the way that we had to stream these, it's kind of a learning experience just because of how different it is. But we're gonna see another game on Ghost Town, so we'll swap sides. So FHS will be on defense, and then Thromatitos will be on attack. Now, Thromatitos generally has brought heavy E100s. They've also kind of favored a Foch B when they're on attack with Ghost Town. Do you think we're going to see something similar, or do you think they're going to try to switch it up a bit after, like you said, it was pretty obvious that FHS has been watching Thromatitos' previous games.
So one thing that I think can definitely be seen. I mean, I don't think the Fox B is definitely bad on this map. I know Dark Ninja likes the tank quite a bit, and with the fact that they have Vova and Dark both autoloader, bad chat, insane gamers. That kind of opens the door for FHS to pull out, strats like that. We'll see if they do decide to bring the Foch B. It's definitely a possibility. It's very good at punishing the up and over pushes that we do see from the offense on map. Like last game, we saw the E100 built different Melancholy push off the cap onto Perfect Style. Perfect Style bouncing half of his shots upon them as they did push on him, but were able to pick him up. And the Foch B is the tank that's usually chosen to smite that push back down because it has just insane burst potential and pretty decent gun handling.
Yeah, it is. It does have really good gun handling. And Ghost Town isn't that big of a map, so it can definitely take advantage of the little bit of speed that the tank does have. So it can close the distance into the city as it needs pretty quickly, and definitely pick up those kills, which is very necessary when it's this small of a 5v5.
Yep, absolutely. And we will be heading into the next battle relatively quickly. Sorry for the delay, everyone. As you could hear everything going on and behind the scenes, blame Viral, not our fault. So, hoping for the best, hoping for, it to be pretty smooth for the rest of the series.
Yeah, hopefully the restart has fixed things for us, so we can make sure that we are back underway. And we have about probably 30 seconds at this point now before we go into our next game of the series. So what do you think we're going to bring? What we're going to see as far as the lineup goes?
E100s, S-Conks from the defense, likely maybe a Foch B, definitely a bad chat. From the offense, probably a bad chat, 50B, E100s. I can't see, but that's my guess.
Well, it looks like for on their defense,
can't
FHS
see.
is bringing
Never mind.
250Bs, an E100, a Super Conqueror, and a Bat Chat, and then Thromatitos is going to bring a 50B, an E100, and two 277s, and a Bat Chat as well.
Oh, I was pretty close, but the 277s were, there.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely a mix-up from what Thromatitos tends to bring. So I think that they are they're either breaking out a new set of strats or kind of tweaking things a little bit to compensate for, like you pointed out earlier, that obvious FHS study that went into Thromatitos.
We're gonna be seeing Dark Ninja here, pressing forward up to the A7 location here. Sheep playing back a little bit further, maybe looking for some bleed here. He does see Dark Ninja. Does a shot ring true? No, it does not. A little bit to the right of Dark Ninja there. He's able to find one. Not quite gonna find another, but that's gonna put Dark Ninja in a pretty awful position here, to be honest, as he's pinned in now by Sheep. Above that rock, Sheep's got a bit more cover here. These heavy tanks from Tomatitos kind of have fire if Dark Ninja's, if he tries to move too much here. We're seeing Vova here in this 50B ready to, shoot at Sheep if he does pull around the side of that rock.
Well, with Dark Ninja over there, he's actually kind of stuck because with Sheep up there, Sheep can put some shots in there. Vova, though, taking a shot from the corner there. Sheep managing to get a good line into him, and Tank Destroyer bleeding down most of his HP there, dropping to 590 as both Perfect, Fluky, and Sheep manage to get some line shots in there as well. But built different now, coming around with the E100, he should be able to put some pressure on the 277s, but he has to play correctly. The E100 turret with its buff, it's not really going to withstand, though, still that 277 heat shell. So he's got to play it correctly.
Here from Vova putting a straight shell in here, taking a double tap from these 277. Sebastian coming over to cover this, but not able to plant a shot here on this 50B. 50B's going to be able to put one more in there, but he does bounce. The 50B now from Tomatitos. Gonna be Bloop coming through the city looking for some flanking fires. This bad chat's gonna be off reload here very soon. Dark Ninja realizing that he's shooting in here is gonna come up there to push Sheep off of that B0 corner. We're seeing close to distance. He's gonna be able to kill Sheep here very quickly, but Bloop able to pick up Tank Destroyer 590. As it's just a trade of auto loaders now. As some tanks in this pretty awkward situation here. Bloop gonna be on reload, but it doesn't matter. They've pushed through. Sebastian needs to kind of get in the fight, but FHS definitely got the better of that push.
And Dark Ninja managing to pick up Sheep in that corner. So Dark Ninja did actually die, though, immediately afterwards. So it's made it a 3-on-2 game with FHS having a little bit of an HP lead. Vova, though, trying to get away from Bloop. I think Vova should be off reload now, as it looks like he is trying to get into a position to get a shot, and he does manage to sink one into Bloop. Ooh. And that's not good for Bloop, as Bloop's now a one-shot, and he'll have to... That's a max high roll to kill Vova with 579 on the 50B's average roll. Yeah, it's a two-shot. Yeah, exactly. So Bloop, although getting lucky there as Vova low rolls.
We got back around the corner. This is a bit awkward, but all Vova's really doing is biding time because lose the 1v1. So
yeah, with Built Different and Melancholy pushing on Bastion, he'll go down here very quickly, and then Vova did exactly what he needed to do. Kept Bloop out of the fight long enough to make sure that the other two didn't have to fight him as well.
Yeah, he was playing that corner pretty smart there, as he actually is able to get picked up by Bloop here. But it doesn't matter very much here. He is on offense. He will have to kill both of these tanks or somehow find a way to capture the base without dying, as he is on 49 HP. Built Different going to come around the corner and look to pick up the kill, and he is able to there, as now we are going to be heading into our next map with the 2-0 advantage for FHS.
Yeah, and pretty solid wins there coming from FHS on both of those, both their attack and their defense. A clean sweep of Ghost Town for them. Built Different coming in with 3,800 damage. Melancholy with 3,300. Vova 2,500. Vova spent most of that time fighting a 277 and then kind of just keeping Bloop at bay. So he was out of the fight for most of it, but still managed a respectable amount of damage. Dark Ninja, same 1,300 damage. And then Tank Destroyer just kind of had the unlucky situation of being caught by both of those 277s and then Sheep in the Bat Chat. And, I think kind of a pointed thing that we can look at here, though, is the fact that Sheep went down relatively early in that fight and was top damage for Thromatitos here.
Yeah, he was clipping in the side of those heavy tanks, able to get a decent bit of damage there. With that one kind of precursor shot to the fight going into Dark Ninja. The thing is, though, he was in sort of an awkward situation that caught Sebastian out of the fight there. The 2-2-7-7s of Perfect Style and Fluky were playing that kind of hold down position in the city there. And whenever they realized what kind of situation they were in, they say, hey, look, we've got Dark over here in this Bat Chat. He's kind of in a bad spot. But they also have Sheep here. If we push on these heavy tanks, they're not going to be able to cover him. And if that Bat Chat starts shooting into our sides, he's going to be able to clean up Sheep very quickly. So they said, okay, it's worth to take this Bat Chat clip. We're able to kill the Bat Chat, and we're going to be able to burst these 277s out faster than they can us. Bloop was a bit out of the fight as well here. Not able to get a lot of damage in. He kind of got some cleanup kills. But other than that, Sebastian not very effective in that game either. So well played by FHS. looking to take. They took a lot of map control very early on, even though they did take some bleed. That was somewhat unnecessary. They did make a very decisive play in order to pick up the kills on Fluky and perfect style in pretty quick fashion.
Absolutely. And it looks like our next match that we'll be going into will be on Sand River, and we will have FHS on defense for the first round for that map. And I'm pretty sure it's their pick. So it was a full sweep of Thromatitos' pick for that first match, which is kind of disheartening for them, because you pick the maps that you think you're going to excel at, and going in and getting
clapped.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, clapped is probably the best descriptor there. Hopefully they'll recover a little bit, but FHS taking that 2-0 lead early on with a very, very strong performance there. And I think you're right when you said earlier that FHS is the strongest all-around team. I think Popcorn is a very strong team when they decide to show up and play, and I think J-Lift is as well. But FHS is, from what the games that we've seen of them, they just seem to kind of be on I don't want to say a different plane, but they seem to be meshing a lot better than some of these other teams.
Yeah, I think one thing that's kind of interesting is we saw some, rather not excellent play out of the side of FHS in their match against Popcorn. I think the addition of Dark Ninja is able to solidify their lineup a little bit better, as we are going to be able coming into this match here. From the side of FHS, we got double S-Conk, Bad Chat 25T, double STB1. And from the side of Tomatitos, we got a Kron Von, Bad Chat, and then triple STB1, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, kind of an immobile lineup there coming from FHS with those two Super Conquerors. It limits them, and it kind of predicts a 2-cap play, primarily with those two tanks, just because of how slow they are. But interestingly, they're not sending their medium tanks up north. They're going to send both STBs and the Batchat south, probably in hopes of picking up the Batchat or something that might head south as an offside scout for Thromatitos, and Thromatitos sending their Kronwagen north. So it's kind of a split play actually coming from both of these teams, as only one of the Super Conquerors heads into the 2-cap area, that little bull, and the other one heads into the F7 ridge area, Tank Destroyer, to get into a position where he can cover the mid.
Yeah, I think this is a fine start from both teams, depending upon what comps they have. Chase's position here in this S-Conk is going to be very vital to his team's victory. If they're able to keep him safe, then he's going to be able to crank out a lot of damage here. But if Tomatitos is able to find the correct positions, they may be able to find a pick here, as they're gonna. Oh my God! Oh, they're right next to you, Sheep.
Yeah, that is not a good peak, and he's
gonna need to
drop
turn
2
around
shots.
and get out.
He needs to go now. If he stays there any longer, he's going to get pushed by, and he already is, he's getting pushed by both of those STBs. They're going to be able to take advantage of that ridge. He's not. Dark Ninja in the bat, trying to get a couple of shots in. How much HP will Sheep get out with? That's the real question now, as he drops to 408 HP. Fluky, or in the STB in the back, though, he might be able to provide a couple of shots of support. But as of right now, nope. And there goes Tank Destroyer picking up the kill on Sheep, as Built-Different now pushes in with the STB, as they realize they've got an overmatch here with those two STBs that were in the mid that have now fallen back completely.
This could go poor for FHS if they full push this.
If they overcommit here, they can get caught by Bastion and Bloop, but I don't know. It's not the best positioning for either team right now, as it's turning into more of a 2v2 in the south.
Yeah, we're going to see Vova sliding upon the K line here to take this higher spot on this ridge. That's going to allow him to put pressure, as we can see here. I heard Bloop take a shot, probably from Tank Destroyer 590 there in the middle. And that's just another pick there from FHS. Very smart there. Vova bleeding a little bit of HP, but nothing to be worried about, as now we're going to see Built-Different able to make his way out of this kind of sticky situation here on the K line, and look for a reset here as Melancholy taking a bit of bleed from the Kron Von in the middle. Kron on clip reload, going to try to get out here, as Tank Destroyer 590 is also sliding up the mid-ridge. They're going to maybe be able to pinch this Kron if he doesn't pay attention. That's concrete. Yep. It's going to be a shot coming from the middle as well here onto Perfect Style, taking two shots of damage. And he's going to try to push around Melancholy here, taking another one here. Puts one in. He's going to have to high roll if he wants a chance. It's 2 in. And
and another shot from Bastion.
up here. He's going to be able to find it. Yeah, he does. Melancholy's going to go down in his S-Conk. Perfect style. Making a pretty important kill here because now they can apply 2-cap pressure, and it's going to force the hand of the defense.
But it doesn't look like he's actually going to apply the 2-cap pressure. He's pushing up, it looks like, to kind of support Bastion here. It looks like they're not going to go for the cap pressure. Well, no, he stopped. They're just moving the STB up now. They've got FHS now in the low ground.
And look to try to run these mediums out of the south here. Both of the mediums moving up from Tomatitos now, closing this the pressure in on these 3 mediums. They realize with no mid pressure here from the side of Tank Destroyer 590, they've got to get out. They've lost that that S-Conk in the north of Melancholy, and now they just don't have the positioning here. They're going to try to get across the 0 line as best they can, but the Kronvon sliding up here as well. Tank Destroyer 590 is going to have tanks coming up behind him. Here's Fluky moving down the K line here. They've kind of stopped to set up a defensive play here. Perfect style in the Kron. Going to be poking this mid ridge here, stopping this rotation out of these medium tanks, and they have the defense completely cornered here. Great play from Tomatitos being able to pick up that S-Conk of Melancholy.
Yeah, that ultimately I think is going to prove to be a changing factor. And Tank Destroyer, they're bleeding a lot of HP there as he tries to get the peak on Perfect Style. Perfect Style, though, should be able to kill him. Yeah, and there it goes. And with that, it's just the 3 mediums left, and they're kind of backed into a corner there. Their back's up against the red line.
And while they were killing that S-Conk there, they were able to get one across the 0 line. We're going to see Sebastian taking significant bleed here. Now, Vova playing this middle ridge. The Kronvon unable to punish him because he is on reload here. But Vova, you know, playing this spot here is going to be the key to victory. Able to put one shot into Perfect Style there. Another one is going to be able to take him down. Is he going to be able to find it here? Hold down Kron. It's going to be difficult, but he's going to swap to HE. Maybe a couple HE shells is going to be able to pick him up here. Try to drop one in here, not connecting for anything significant. Vova backing off here now. This is just incredibly favored here for the offense, as they just have the defense exactly where they want them.
It's almost a time like this that you wish they had kept the Kronwagen back a little bit, just to be able to apply that 2-cap pressure to force. Oh, and an HE shell actually coming in on Perfect Style as that Kronwagen was held down. He was trying to possibly get a little bit of that splash damage. HE always doing that damage. You know, the STB, it's got a good gun, but it's not going to heat pen in front of a Kronwagen turret like that.
No.
And
so
FHS, though, they're backed into a corner, but Thromatitos needs to kind of figure out a way to apply a bit of pressure, but the Kronwagen there is keeping Vova back, and I think Bloop and Bastion are getting through completely hidden here.
Yeah, they're going to be able to make this push up here behind Vova. Vova having an HE shell loaded, even if he does go into him, it's not going to be much. Not able to pick up Perfect Style with that last HE round, 2 shells connecting on him, one more to pick him up. Actually, no, a low roll coming up from Bloop there. It's going to be 2 more. Dark Ninja in his bad chat trying to support what he can, but he's not able to do much, as now they are going to be pushing down the 0 line here, closing this Vice in even more. And he is going to be doing so as even looking even worse for the defense now, losing their one you know, bastion of hope.
I see what you did there. But, you know, textbook case of just a superior strat that worked out for Thromatitos, and they were just able to out-rotate FHS and take control of I mean, they took the entire map away, and I don't think FHS has left the 0 line until just now when they pushed up to the 9 line. So very well played by them. And now a little bit of cap pressure here coming from the Kronwagen, Perfect Style with that 19 HP. And one of the STBs putting some cap pressure on, trying to force FHS to kind of come out of that back corner. Because Dark Ninja, he's got 806 HP. He's still very dangerous. And the shot coming on a Fluky. Fluky bouncing that next shot. Dark, though, managing to pick up the kill on Fluky. He's going to have 2 shots left because it took 3 to kill that. Perfect Style missing that shot, which he needs to pick up. Bloop, though, finally killing Dark Ninja, and they should be able to just push Build Different and pick up this win, making it a 2-1 game series.
Yeah, that was like what happened in the game here is they were able to pick up that pick on Sheep and put the defense in a very, very, very good position. But you know, that Kronvon in the north of Perfect Style, absolutely gaming, able to pick up that 1v1 kill essentially with a little bit of help from the middle there of the STB, able to pick up that win there, and Perfect Style, I'm going to give him MVP of that game right there, as he was able to free the map up with killing Melancholy. Melancholy only doing 1250 damage there. It's not what you want to see. It was really unfortunate for him. You know, once they were able to kill that anchor tank of the S-Conk, they were able to flex around the map and just take everything from the defense.
Yeah, it was definitely a well played game, and I think that, yeah, like you said, the pickup with Perfect Style and the Kronwagen up north, picking up Melancholy, while the rest of FHS was basically for lack of a better description, overcommitting, I think, in the South. They kind of just left Melancholy up there, and I don't know if it was necessarily a misplay by Melancholy to put the pressure onto the Kronwagen instead of kind of staying back where he was. By pushing out around that corner, he definitely exposed himself to that STB in the middle, which allowed Perfect Style an easier time to pick him up. Might have swung things a little differently if he had forced the Kronwagen to make the push onto him. But well played to Thromatitos, making a bit of a comeback here, making it a 2-1 game series, and a very good win there.
Yep, that was pretty good from Tomatitos. You know, Sand River defense isn't the hardest thing to do there, and their offense is definitely a lot more difficult. And able to pick that one up, and you know, this could be where they tie it up 2-2. We're gonna step away for like 30 seconds. We're loading in the game. I'll be right back.
All right, absolutely. And for those of you who are just joining in, we did get off to a little bit of a slow start because we had some frame issues there for a bit. But we are watching FHS and Thromatitos take on each other in this SteelSeries Major League game. It's currently 2-1 in favor of FHS. It is a best-of-9 series, so first to 5 wins, attack-defense format as always. And we have just witnessed Thromatitos take their first win of the night. And it was a pretty solid win in my opinion. But we are going to be getting ready to go in here very shortly, and we are, as we get ready with FHS on the attack for Sand River and Thromatitos on defense. We have from FHS a Kronwagen double Batchat, a CS63, and an STB. And coming from Thromatitos, we have a Kronwagen, a Batchat, and triple STB. So very good, high DPM, good hull down, good gun depression tanks coming here from Thromatitos, and with Sheep in that Batchat, they should be able to get the eyes that they need, but they are going to have to be careful here as Dark Ninja and Vova are Batchat gamers to a core, and they should be able to pick up some good advantages there with those two tanks. And it looks like FHS is Oh, we've got our colors backwards, by the way, Viral. But Thromatitos here heading north with their with 2 STBs and a Batchat as the Kronwagen heads kind of towards that mid-2 cap ridge. And it looks kind of more of a 2 cap play. Kind of a standard defense here coming from Thromatitos, with the STB taking the F ridge, F9 ridge, and FHS now making a decent spread as they send the Batchat to kind of... Yeah, and they're using Vova here. Using the Batchat's superior vision, they should possibly be able to get a spot into that mid-cap area, just peeking the commander's cupola right over. A shot, though, coming in there from the STB back, just trying to get some blind fire into there. And he doesn't look like Vova actually spots anything there, even though they've sent 2 of the STBs in that Batchat up north. I don't know if it was necessarily because it's just outside of the vision, or if because of the way that he's peeking the commander's viewport, it was technically below the ridge a little bit there. So he might have come in at just the wrong angle to get the max line of sight for that spotting run.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Not able to pick up the vision that he needed. But we are seeing a north rotation come out of FHS here. I think they've decided that, you know, this is going to be their strongest play. Sheep smelling what's coming, getting out of the pickable position here that he was in. A shot connecting on to Tank Destroyer 590 in his CS63. As Perfect Style just mimicking the rich play of Melancholy here. Looking for a bit of vision of what he can get here. It looks like we're going to see a Tank Destroyer 590 in his CS pulling up to this ridge here, looking for some shots onto that Kronwagen. Is he going to be able to pick one up? Yes, he is. Now the north push coming through for FHS here. Perfect Style just trying to get out of harm's way as he's going to tuck himself into the C8 location. However, he is in a pinch. Once these medium tanks try to make a fold play here, they could try to look for a pick on him. But a lot of A-line pressure here from Tomatitos is going to lead them into a pretty strong situation.
Well, they're pushing those Batchats now into a ridge game against 2 hull-down STBs, so this isn't necessarily the best position for FHS to be in. They've got Built Different on the ridge who can provide a bit of support, but Dark Ninja and Vova here have to be careful because they probably... If Bastion and Bloop decide to push them, they might find themselves in a bit of an issue.
They got support from the STB at A7.
Well, yeah, of course, but it's also a situation where, I don't know, it seems like Thromatitos is trying to bait them into getting onto that 2 cap there.
Yeah, I think that like the biggest thing Tomatitos is there at a standstill. These Batchats can actually hop over there and try to shoot the Kron in the back, and FHS is looking for vision on like where the hidden tanks are right now, while trying not to bleed too much. Here's we're going to see another tank commit across the middle there, looking for some more pressure here in the north. They could try to maybe push these double STBs here, and I
And
think
I
that's
think
what we're
that's
going
what
to
they're
see.
going to do. Yeah, Sheep, though, far south, the SDB, far south, they're both completely out of this fight, and it's essentially a 3-on-5 here. And FHS has decided to send all of their mediums in. They're just going to make the push. Tank Destroyer with the CS is just kind of pushing Bloop out. Bloop missing the shot as Tank Destroyer does manage to connect one. And they're pulling them in now, but without any major support. They have now Sheep has come back with the bat chat. He should be able to get some shots in if they decide to commit down. He does manage to sink one into Tank Destroyer. Fluky, though, picking up the kill on Melancholy and the Kronwagen, which is a big help for Thromatitos here, as
Yep, they were
they're
able to
now
push
in a
Fluky up the
bowl,
middle there
basically.
and pinch him with the Kronvon there, able to take him down there off screen. As we're going to see Dark Ninja, they're going to maybe try to get some pressure here onto the Kron. The Kron, sensing that it's coming, already trying to maybe move to the rock here before they get to him, so they
Yeah,
can't
he's
do that
flipping to the
fence play.
backside of that ridge.
He's going to
Yeah.
make it the whole way to the backside of the ridge, and that is that is exactly what you want to see here from Tomatitos. Sheep also rotating through the middle here. They're going to push in and find pretty much nothing here. As they're going to find a full health STB in a position that's going to be a lot more difficult to pick here. And at this point, they're like, well, oh no, man.
They've pushed right into a crossfire. Yeah, this was just a perfectly set trap here by Thromatitas, baiting FHS into this bowl, and
Lord.
they're just getting picked apart here as those two SDBs in the back are able to get good shots into them, and they managed to pull the bat chat and push Sheep and Fluky back now to get farm in as well, and all that's left now is Tank Destroyer in the CS63, and you can tell that FHS has kind of accepted it at this point. And with that, they're going to tie the series. Thromatitos pulling a solid win out of not even their map pick. So now we've got a solid sweep for FHS on Thromatitos' pick, and we've got a solid win for Thromatitos on FHS's pick. So kind of an even trade there. And you can just see just from the Alpha Battle results screen. I mean, FHS just got... they got outplayed, basically, by Thromatitos there. Thromatitos just kind of seemed to be on point that whole time. Fluky, Sheep, and Bastion, staying alive as long as they did. Bloop, even though he only did that one shot of damage, his HP just kind of kept things isolated a little bit, keeping Tank Destroyer out of the fight for as long as possible. So it was a solid win there for Thromatitos.
Yeah, I really liked, like what the offense had going for them. They had a lot of pressure there. They were able to make a play, but Tomatitos, it felt like they were playing with, it felt like they were, stream sniping 30 seconds ahead of the other team's stream. Like, it was just crazy because, everything FHS was doing, Tomatitos was ahead of. That north push was coming, those STBs, they were a little bit behind on that one, but the crazy one, the Kron perfect style was playing in a perfect style, making sure his rotations were on point that whole game, and allowing those STBs, play relatively safely. They were able to get out of the north Bloop and the other STB north, rotating out, forcing them to push. Once they realized they didn't have a pick there, they're like, oh, we're going to go after the Kron. The Kron, realizing that he was the next person on the dinner plate there, rotates to the other side of the ridge. Meanwhile, they're doing that north play, though. The Kron in the middle is exposed. It's a 4-on-2 in the north, and they were able to make the play onto that Kron, pushing that Fluky in the STB up to the middle, pinching him in between the Kron and him, and able to take him down pretty quickly.
It was definitely expertly played by Thromatitos, and it makes you wonder if they might have studied FHS just as much as FHS has studied Thromatitos there. And, these are good players playing on 200 plus pings, 70% packet loss. It's good to see good games. And I am actually wrong when I said earlier as far as the map picks. So it was FHS that picked Ghost Town.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Thromatitos picked Sand River. And then Himmels, which is the map we're about to go into, was picked by FHS. So that is on me. I apologize. I misread it. So it makes a little bit more sense as opposed to each of them picking up the other's pick. But I think we're getting a good set of games out of both of these teams.
Yeah, that was a clinic from Tomatitos there on Sand River, as well as the same from FHS on Ghost Town. Now heading into our next map choice here from the side of FHS. We'll see what they maybe have up their sleeve, as it's just tricks after tricks after tricks, Teams have been, it's obvious that the preparation has been in for this match.
Yeah, we should be going in next to Himmelsdorf, and so the HP boosted E100, Scott.
Yep.
What is your opinion? Because I know that I've been perusing the minor league Discord, and I know there's a lot of contention when it comes to the use of it. So what is your opinion on it as far as for 5v5 format?
I think bringing 4 or more is kind of troll. I think 3 may be a sweet spot number for the defense, but I think that the minor league, they tend to not rotate to take advantage of the E100 slowness. But what it does have is a big fat stack of 3,000 hit points and also insane DPM. Couple that together, and you've got yourself a push force that just can't be denied. Here, we're going to be seeing 2 from either team here, but we'll see what they decide to do with them.
And right off the bat, Thromatita's pushing Sheep down the 2 line. He's going to get into a good position here just to kind of keep an eye on the crossing. Fluky, Bloop, and Perfect Style, though, in their E100s in the E5. Kind of a different choice. The E5 has kind of been labeled as a bit of a bootleg Super Conqueror. It's got that really good heat shell, but it doesn't have the same that decent hull down armor profile that the Super Conqueror does. But when you're brawling against E100s, that heat shell does wonders, it seems. And it's Thromatita, or the colors need to be flipped again there, Viral. But FHS, having taken control of the hill, they sent the 2 Batchat and the 50B directly north. They've got a 5A on the G line just to kind of spot that crossing if he had the opportunity to, but they didn't really commit much down there. Yeah, now the colors are correctly. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just Perfect Style and E100 in the pocket on the 5 line just to be able to stop something from rotating across. You can get a good shot in with that E100 128.
Yep, Sheep here looking for a little bit of vision on the hill and on an 8-line cross here, as we're seeing built different now. Across the diagonal, looking to make his play onto the K-line here, so we're going to be seeing both he and Melancholy here. Maybe looking to apply some K-line pressure in order to take this 1-2. We're also seeing the 5A move up the H line. This is going to be a full execute here, and they could find Sheep out here, as he's going to have to push in front of one of these heavy tanks in order to get out of this position. Here's the 2 E100s now moving on to the 2 line. He's going to see Sheep looking to run here. The E100 smelling his blood, pushing across the trains there. They're going to find any more shots on him. Yes, they are.
They do.
Knocking down to 410 HP. One more shot's going to be able to take him down here. That E100 mentioning its DPM earlier. They're going to be able to pick him up, and yes, they are. Melancholy picking up Sheep. Getting picked again. I think FHS, this is their map pick again. We saw Sheep playing that position against Popcorn the other day, and they took somewhat of an advantage of it, but a full play here from FHS, realizing that maybe they knew he was there, maybe they just kind of saw him by chance as they were able to pick up the kill onto the bad chat before he was able to get out here. So now we're going to be in a 5v4, very similar to what we saw in Ghost Town. And maybe they're able to make their 4 tanks 5. The other team is now we're seeing some aging come out on Sebastian. It's pretty awkward here. The bad chat of Dark Ninja here looks like he may be sliding up to possibly apply cap pressure.
That's what
he's
it
not going to be
looks
able
like.
to do that.
But he's not gonna, if he does, he's not going to be able to stay, right? Because the Batchat is it's speed, it's not armor. But he is going to cross here directly in front of an E100, and if he's looking, this is not a good spot for Batchat to find himself in, as
Dark
it is.
Ninja could end up being the second pick of the match here, as he's got himself onto the 5 line, and he needs to get out here, as it's a pretty awkward situation.
Yeah, Perfect Style with that
We're going to see
155.
Fluky in the E5 here, also sliding up through here, but Vova lying in wait. He could possibly pick him up some E5 for dinner. He's going to be sliding back down the 8 line. It looks like we may see...
Oh no, Fluky here committing in. He's going to get caught by Vova out in the open, and it's not going to have much... Oh, but Vova not looking. He is going to get a shot into him, and then Vova's going to bounce that next shot. But now it's Fluky against 2 autoloaders, and they can just kind of push directly onto him. Perfect Style not being quick enough to get around and having to deal with that 5A. And Fluky should be a pickup here, as Bloop, though, manages to kill Dark Ninja. With that, a good shell coming in from the U100. And Vova now dropping to on fire, dropping quickly. Fluky managing to stay alive here.
If Fluky lands a track shot, he can pick up this 50B. Oh, never mind.
Perfect
Style here, brawling the 5A of Tank Destroyer 590 in the middle. Tomatitos bringing this one back big time. Perfect style, not actually able to pick up that 750 alpha shot here. Tank Destroyer needs to try to find penetration here, but Bloop got that cover for Perfect style. Not able to find a shot here. He does take one from Tank Destroyer 590. Coming off reload here is Perfect Style. Coming around the corner.
Oh, he whiffs the shot.
That's huge. Sebastian taken down here by Built Different there on the one line. The E5 is going to be going down here very quickly to Vova. Wasn't able to find that track shot earlier here. Tank Destroyer 590 can be able to pick up this E100 with one more shot. Blue is going to get one, but he's not actually able to high roll. So,
and there's the big shot coming in. Bloop finally
goes.
getting the pick there. And Perfect Style down to 34 HP. Bloop down to 2,400. Vova still alive as Vova managed to pick up the kill onto Fluky there. I'm not entirely sure what happened. We were watching that brawl. And with Bastion dead now, it's just Bloop against 3 tanks.
Yeah, this is looking pretty doomed for Bloop. The new pickup of Tomatitos. You know, talking with him the other day, apparently he doesn't understand very much Spanish. He understands less than what we initially thought. Yeah, pretty much gets orders from Sheep and Fluky, who are both Fluky being a more fluent English speaker, and Sheep, you know, can speak the language decently well. He gets his orders from them. They tell him where to go, and he just kind of does his thing. As doing his thing wasn't quite good enough there, as Sheep taken down first, and after that the dominoes fall for Tomatitos, and FHS picking up another victory, picking Sheep. It's kind of a rough series for him, as we're going to be heading on to FHS's defense and see if they're going to extend that lead to 4-2 or maybe tie it back up 3-3.
Well, and you know, in all honesty, looking at that game, that was in all honesty a pretty close game. There were a couple of missed shots there coming in from Perfect Style that would have made things a little bit easier. I'm not entirely sure what happened with Fluky. I don't know if Vova was just able to get away from him with that 50B, using the speed to just get around the corner. But you know, there were some things that could have been changed that would have picked up a win there. Definitely not a bad game though. It was close up until the very end.
Yep, good game there from both teams. I think Tomatitos, I mean, they've dug themselves out of so many holes. Like on the first Ghost Town, they tried to dig themselves out of that, weren't able to. They dug themselves out of one of the Sand River games when they were picked. But you know, it's kind of rough when you start with such a big deficit. You just, you know, maybe trying to, I don't know, find a bit safer angles to play here. Mix up your strats, because FHS has got the handbook on Tomatitos, it seems.
Well, I think FHS a little bit. I mean, like you said, it's obvious that FHS has studied what Tomatitos does. So by allowing Sheep to get all the way down there and not spotting anything, it kind of played to the idea that FHS was playing Hill, which we've seen them do before. So by then rotating back just as quickly to be able to catch Sheep in that early crossfire and eliminate him, it really just kind of put FHS at the advantage. But that being said, it kind of teetered back and forth a little bit there for a bit when Dark Ninja went down and then Vova was on the ropes. So, you know, these Latin American gamers playing with 200 ping and 70% packet loss are still putting up a hell of a fight when it comes to this game series. Now, of course, we will switch sides, so it'll be FHS on defense for this next game and Tomatitos on attack. So another chance to tie it up, another chance to make it a little bit closer for them. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, you know, Tomatitos kind of coming down to it here. I'm sure they would definitely like to win this match, as we're going to be loading in here right now. FHS bringing a 50B double E100 SCON Combat Chat, while Tomatitos bringing double 50B E100 and double 277. Not nearly as many E100s as we see in minor league, as I mentioned earlier, but you know, that's a pretty mobile defense here from Tomatitos. We see what they decide to do with it. Commonly, a lot of teams just like to establish 1-2 line pressure and then determine what the offense is up to. But we'll see what they decide to do here. Loading in majority of the tanks from FHS, looking to move down the 1-2 here, as I mentioned. While it looks like we're seeing a K-line, you know, opening here from Tomatitos. It's going to be sliding down that way, maybe trying to establish 1-2 line pressure of their own. Oh, Bova with the big vision. That's going to divide the map pretty much in half, as most of the tanks from Tomatitos were spotted there by that 5-line spot of the bad shed. He's going to be sliding down toward the 8-line now. Is he going to be able to spot anything here? Nope. And FHS getting set up accordingly, maybe trying to punish that K-line cross. As now we do see the 277 of Fluky crossing to the K1 building here. Holding for now, but we're seeing another one push further up. Are they going to be able to get him to G1 here safely? I can't see. Over here in this bad chat clearing G-line here while, you know, things are happening here. And,
things happening on the 1-2 line. Vova, you know, doing what he needs to do to take control of the map, but with Sheep now getting into the G1 railroad car area, Fluky and Bloop in a little bit of support, but with that Super Conqueror there in E1, it is a very strong position to be able to stop an advance here, and digging him out will cost them a lot of HP.
Yeah,
and you can see just right off the bat, you can see that Thromatitas is trying to figure out a way to get out of there as Fluky and Bloop both leave.
Yeah, they're going to try to get out of here. They have Tomatitos is completely cornered. If they move, they know what's happening here. There's going to be tanks trying to cross the 5-line. The Batchat isn't quite holding us. He could find himself in some trouble here as the 50B moving through the diagonal. Perfect style, getting ready to take G-line control here. Dark Vova could find himself in a bad position, but he's able to get out here. Reestablishing 8-line control here is Tomatitos. They did it without taking very much bleed here. Is it going to take anything else here in the Batchat? Not quite connecting there. As a little bit of RNG trolling Sebastian, but the Batchat able to make it out alive as we're seeing a counter push come out here from FHS onto Perfect Style and the 277 and G1. Are they going to be able to pick up very much here onto them?
Well, Sheep is definitely going to go down here as Melancholy is pushing onto him, and then he has support there from Dark Ninja in the 50B and Tank Destroyer in the E100. And it looks like all of Thromatitos is kind of flexing back here. Vova in the Batchat is able to get a couple of shots into them as they cross those open lines of fire that are on Himmelsdorf across that the main area. Dark Ninja dropping a shot of damage here as well, but Thromatitos not really in the best spot here. They're kind of in a quasi-crossfire a bit. They all have to kind of stay safe, use these ridges, because with Vova there on the corner, he was able to get a couple shots in there. But they are flexing around. They've got Bastion in the 50B pushing through. They're not quick enough.
Across the 8-line. That's huge. Because now that's going to kind of force the hand of FHS here on this corner, as you know that 50B can one clip that bad chat. So,
but
know,
at the same time, Vova
really
can
smart.
clip him as well. So it's
but the 50B just does it so much faster.
Oh yeah, he'll do it faster. But you know, Vova has definitely the skill level to be able to get the shots that he needs to even things and make it a little bit closer before he makes a full commit in. But again, another stalemate, as it looks like they're trying to just kind of figure out what to do at the moment. All of them kind of bunched up on the 3-line and the G-line, respectively. Looks like Bastion might be putting some cap pressure, maybe? He's down over there.
It's pretty... As soon as he takes cap, I think they're trying to bait a push. Bloop's in a really good spot here. Or maybe trying to get Vova to shoot at Fluky so that way the 50B can push him. I'm not sure here, so we'll see. Fluky does move up into the courtyard here. Melancholy trying to pick for Bloop. 2 shots landing out on him. Perfect style, likely to put one in here to finish him down. And he does. That's pretty big here. Built different, pushing into the courtyard, maybe looking to pick up Fluky here. Sebastian holding his corner, though, not allowing to poke for free as he does take a shot of damage here. Vova as well, taking one, dropping him down to 968. Perfect style, able to be able to pick up there from Take Score 590. 2 more shots coming out here from Sebastian. Maybe going to be able to pick up Vova. That's going to be pretty big here as he is actually able to pick up that kill. But dying is Sebastian in the courtyard, leaving it to a 1v3. And it's not looking hot. Bloop alive, alone again. You know, one-man army. Is he going to be able to do it? I just don't think so.
Well, Bloop is definitely one hell of a gamer, but, you know, the odds are definitely stacked against him here. But even then, looking at it, it's only about 2k difference in HP. But now Dark Ninja, Bloop should be able to pick up the kill on Dark here. Dark missing that first shot, but then he'll be on reload, and Built Different in that E100 is going to chase him down.
Yeah, Bloop is going to be going down here pretty quickly, trying to scramble to wherever he can. Another shot getting ready to come in here from the E100 before he goes to the corner. He does take it, and leaving him on 184 HP. The reload, you know, maybe he hopes that he can poke this corner. He accidentally shoots his upper plate, and clips him out, and then, I don't know, taps out on the other side of the map.
You know, we've seen two pretty solid consistencies here coming from Thromatitos. Sheep dies. Dies first. Bloop is the last one alive.
Yeah, I mean FHS. I mean that was the amount of map control that they had right there was unreal. They cornered them into the G through K lines and 1 through 4 lines. Gave themselves essentially a quarter of the map to play with and said, "Here, have fun." When they tried to rotate out, they realized what the problem was. Vova kiting them around the map like an absolute expert, almost like he's riding a horse with a carrot tied to a fishing pole, or like the money on or the dollar bill on a fishing pole.
Yeah,
Really get
exactly.
down a hallway with
You
the
almost had it. Almost had it.
yeah, oh, you got to be quicker than that.
And, with
they just
with
weren't.
Oh, go ahead. What were you about to say? I'm
I
sorry.
was just saying that they just weren't fast enough to pick up Vova there.
No, absolutely. And Vova is one hell of a gamer. He's every game that I watch him play, I've been impressed by him, and that's a he's a pretty good indicator of just the level of skill that is on FHS. He's been a solid player throughout this entire series, but with that, FHS is going to pick up its 4th win. It's now 4-2 game series, and we're on match point. So,
which means we're going to Tomatito's map now.
Yes, we are. So here's where Tomatitos pulls it back 2 games, and we go into overtime on Cliff. This is how we're going. And what is our next map? Our next map is Proc. So okay. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to watch some of the Major League games, Scott, but what are the chances of a Manticore here coming out of Tomatitos?
100%.
100%. You think so?
I think unless he wants to bring an E100, it's going to be a bit harder to pick Sheep in an E100. But I don't think we're going to see an E100 on Prokhorovka here. As Sheep, he is a Manticore gamer. Picking up some technology from the Night One rider himself. He's adapted to it. He is improvising every game in 5v5. And although he's having a pretty rough match day today, I think that's going to be the thing that sparks them back into a tied match.
Well, I'm definitely hoping for a little bit of a comeback here coming from Tomatitos. These games, although FHS does have the upper hand right now, they've been very entertaining to watch because both of these teams are very skilled, and it's been good. And I mean, just looking at the after battle results screens. Built Different with 3,700 damage. Bloop with 3,700 damage. Built Different only beat him by about 10 damage, actually. Exactly 10 damage.
Hell yeah.
And, it was interesting trying to seeing Tomatitos try to set up, again, kind of one of those traps. They played it well, but I think by letting Vova in that bat chat in to be able to get the clip out on Fluky, they kind of lost the angles that they needed there. So it was unfortunate.
They put him in an S-Conk. He can't get picked in an S-Conk as easily.
This is true. And for this potential last game of the night, we have FHS on defense with 2 Super Conquerors, 2 Bat Chats, and a T100. And Tomatitos foregoing the Manticore, bringing 2 Super Conquerors, a Bat Chat, and 2 STBs.
Yep. We'll see what how they utilize this T100. The one thing the T100 allows you to do on proc is 1-2 line control. Able to play the bushes there, just outspout a bat chat just a little bit faster, and every little bit these teams know how to use very well. We're going to be seeing the Tank Destroyer 590 and the T100 looking for a mid-range spot as an initial, but they actually aren't going to be playing toward the 1-2. They're going to be pushing these bat chats up, potentially pushing them towards hill with these 2 S-Conks also going toward 890. Meanwhile, we've got an STB on the opposite side of tracks here that could end up being in trouble here of Fluky. See if they do counter spot each other. I'm sure the T100 will definitely spot him. Both S-Conks from Tomatitos coming here to the center. Meanwhile, the 2 medium tanks from them are going to establish 1-2 line pressure. A shot traded on to Tank Destroyer 590, but these bat chats coming toward hill. Fluky is going to be
Fluky getting 2 shots.
Danger.
Well, he managed to get both of those shots now into Tank Destroyer, and now he just needs to disappear because those bat chats are going to have a full clip opportunity on him. And it looks like Fluky reading that his stay has overextended. Well, he might not. They missed 2 shots. No, they got the track. He's dead. Fluky's gone. Yep, there goes Fluky. Yeah, that was. He had a chance a little bit, but overcommitted.
Again, it just wasn't Sheep this time.
Yeah, shout out to Sheep for not being the first one to die on for the night. I think this is the first game that he wasn't the first dead. Tomatitos here though in a disadvantage basically. With the Vision game now basically won by FHS in positions where they can get shots into basically anywhere on the map with those Batchats and the T100 on the hill. The Super Conqueror, the FHS is going to send one back towards that B6 ridge just to kind of play it and prevent Thromatitos from putting anybody onto the cap. And Sheep, though, as he makes that cross, he does bleed a shot of damage from a Batchat. And it doesn't look good for Thromatitos here. Dying as quickly as he did, it was not what they needed to have happen. I'm not entirely sure what he was hoping to gain there by pushing up those bushes, because once he got spotted by the T100, he was just, dead, basically.
He was very dead. I think that they took a bit for granted. Remember how I mentioned that the T100 is good at playing 1-2? Maybe they were like, hey, he's going to be, he's not here. We just see the T100. But then it was just too late. They just picked him up there, and
the moment Fluky got spotted, he should have been down, and it just put them in a...
Could be the counter pick. You don't want to get spotted there. That's pretty rough, actually. Sebastian's playing the backfield, dropping a shot in here to Vova. Vova, 2 more shots is going to be able to take him down. I do believe he got unspotted, not going down here. Tank Destroyer 590. What are they doing, guys? You just need to...
They're over-peaking the ridge there. Bastion getting the Batchat, managing to get a shot. Dark Ninja pushing now onto Perfect Style, and I don't know what... Well, Dark Ninja, he's using the Super Conqueror as a bit of a shield there to keep him isolated from the bat, but... Bastion just kind of ran away. I don't know if Bastion's on clip at this point.
I think he was on clip. That's the reason
that is unfortunate.
If he would have... I didn't know what he was shooting at there, but if he wasn't on clip, that would have been...
Well, it's possible that he was the one that was managing to get some shots into Vova there on the hill, and then he got a shot into the T100, which would have dropped him as 5 shots there. And Sheep now down to 256 HP as Thromatitos, their hopes of winning this game are slowly slipping away. Bastion dropping to 752. Yeah, this went quick here.
Yeah.
And now it's just a 2v2 or 2v1 and for both of these situations as Bastion manages to pick up a kill on the T100, but he's not going to outclip Dark Ninja. And Ninja's going to finish him off real quickly. And now all that's left, once again, is Bloop in the STP.
Bloop trying to farm fancy and puts a shot into Melancholy, and that's going to do the series here. As FHS is going to be picking up the victory against Tomatitos 5-2. Pretty dominating gameplay there. They got picks in every game. Tomatitos fought well, but it was mostly a 4v5 for most of the night. Fluky only able to pick up a couple shots of damage here. Dark Ninja getting big farm, pushing up and over and killing that S-Conk. But, it was pretty doomed from the beginning as Fluky getting caught out. That's the story of the night here for Tomatitos. It was pretty rough for him. And we'll be heading into our next match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure each of these games, it was pretty much Thromatitos got a tank picked. And then everything kind of fell apart afterwards. If they didn't get a tank picked, then they picked up the win, and they were not able to find a mojo that worked here tonight. But yeah, as you said, that will bring an end to the first night of our games.
The first game of the night.
Yeah, first game of the night. With FHS picking up the win 5-2 over Thromatitos, and I'm pretty sure with that I would have to check and see how the other games went, but I know that it keeps FHS's hopes alive for pulling into first place. Thromatitos, I think, drops below Popcorn. It'll depend on
I turn around and everything has changed. Looking for a way to work it out. I'm trying to find some peace to navigate. The oak tree where I met you, and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I fight. Take me to it. Just take me to it. Take me to it. Just take me to it. Take me to it. Take me to it. Just take me to it. Take me to it. Just take me, take me, take me, take me to it. Disco.
We all knew Heroes was going to step it up once they got Patty and Haglar. Then adding Fosh just put him actually into a good team.
Oh, it really did. And we are back. So, Scott, will you take me to a disco? I have to ask.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. As long as we've gotten to that point, you know.
I will.
God,
I will.
I wish. God, you know, SteelSeries wants the ads, which you know we're perfectly fine playing, but I wish they had changed the songs a little bit because
Yeah,
it's the same.
So, I just had to restart my stream because I accidentally opened up one of the minor league docs on stream.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I had to restart that and then cut the, you know, but they didn't miss anything, so we're all good, you know. Just a slight
we've
boneheaded move.
we have resumed our regularly scheduled programming.
And
So
we'll be heading into our next match.
yeah. Well, you know. Right off the bat, we had we had our first game. We had F8. Okay, Viral. Have you noticed the numbers on the left next to the names for the standings? As you just click off of it. Okay.
Wait, what happened? I didn't see.
He's got. So J-Lift is currently in first place, right? Because the mod, the way that it works is it populates it based on the start of the night. And J-Lift is currently in first place with a number 2 next to them.
Yep.
FHS in second place with a number 1 next to them.
Yeah, it happens.
So yeah, I'm just giving Viral a hard time. We do appreciate everything Viral does. You know, he's taking care of a lot of the technical stuff for us to make our lives a little bit easier. But right off the bat, earlier tonight, FHS picking up a win over Thromatitos there, which I think does catapult them into first place as of right now. And then Unlikely Heroes picking up the win over Bear Force 1 in a 5-3 game, which will put them above Bear Force 1 pretty solidly there.
Yep. And so that's pretty big. So the playoff implications that is going to have is actually quite massive, because now Team Moist, if they pick up the win tonight over Flippy B, will currently be in 6th position, which is playoff position.
which is absolutely crazy considering like just I mean I'm not gonna rag on them. These players are much more skilled than me, but could any of us have expected it to be in this position when the season started? Probably not.
Nope.
So it just goes to show that there are plenty of opportunities for upsets and changes here. There's still plenty more games to be played for the season, so should be pretty fun here. Next, though, we should have a pretty good game series. I think we've got J-Lift taking on Popcorn here. So your caster in crime for the minor league, Anakin and his team taking on. I want to call them like Putin's Warriors or something. I don't know, but the Russian the Russian team.
Popcorn.
Yeah,
So-
they're not a team to mess around with.
Absolutely not.
They are a very solid team when they decide to show up and that they want to play, and that can be seen just from the fact that they've played 47 games this season, and they have a 63% attack win rate and a 70% defense win rate, which
Yeah.
is slightly better than J-Lift's 54% and 67%. But I think these are going to be just as good a games as we just saw because both of these teams are very solid.
Yeah, it's they're both pretty epic gamers, and I've been a big fan of Jan Taranta's Bad Chat play this season. Kind of an epic gamer, and they're just pretty much a solid team all around. As we'll be watching these two fight to the death, and hopefully one of them is able to come out victorious.
Well, there's a
the
lot
end.
of big implications with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
J-Lift wins,
Playoff.
it puts them solidly back in first place. Popcorn wins, it puts them in contention for first place.
Mm-hmm.
So with the top 4 teams of this league are like neck and neck, and nobody has really kind of taken a big lead at this point.
Nope. You've got the top 4, and then you've got like the next 3. I'm gonna say, which is kind of unlikely. Heroes separated themselves tonight into like a solid 5th position, and then 6th and 7th are neck and neck, and then there's another team at the bottom,
Which
shall not be named.
we'll just put F's in the chat for them.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, and tonight, just taking a look at some of the maps we're going to be playing, there was a 2-minute timeout called by Popcorn. I think they're trying to get another player online to play.
Oh, great.
But they currently, as of right now, we have Ghost Town and Mines banned for tonight. First match will be on Himmelsdorf, which is a Popcorn pick, followed by Sand River, picked by J-Lift, a Cliff by Popcorn, and then Proc by J-Lift, and then our tiebreaker is Ruinberg.
Yep, pretty good set of maps.
Yeah, I think so. Because Himmelsdorf and Sand River are kind of they're brawly, but they're also technical. So we should see some pretty good gameplay coming out of both of these teams. And then Cliff will just be a straight up measure of individual player skill, in my opinion, just because of the way that map always kind of seems to devolve. And then Ruinberg is a tiebreaker. I kind of hope that we get to there because we don't see that many Ruinberg games in reality.
Yeah, a lot of teams have shied away from it. The map saw a lot of changes. Coming off of its rework a few patches ago. There were several changes to maps, including Cliff, Proc, and Ruinberg. All 3 of these maps changed, with the most significant to the league being Ruinberg, changing the A-line. And a lot of teams have shied away from it this season, and we could potentially see it tonight.
If Popcorn manages to get
things go
another
close.
player online, that is, of course.
Yes.
We might end up cutting this short. We don't really know. But in the interest of kind of keeping the conversation rolling, though, a little bit, going back to talking about some of the individual standings, I have to say, the team that I am most impressed out of this season has been the turnaround that Unlikely Heroes has made.
Yeah. Oh no, replacing 60% of your starting lineup is definitely going to change it. But they have that one week they picked up Haglar, and dude, Haglar's hair was able to carry them to victory on that one week, and then since then they picked up Paddington and and Foch, and they've just been moving forward the whole time.
They really have, and it seems like every time we've seen them, whether it's on this stream or on one of the secondary stream, they've gotten better. And it's one thing for like individual player skill, right? Because they picked up 3 exceptional players, but they still are like their individual strats are improving as well, and it's pretty obvious to see that. And they're living up to their name like 100%.
Yeah, the unlikely heroes, the team that has made the turnaround mid-season. You know, they've learned a lot this season. I like to compare them sort of to like a simpler version of my team from last season. We started out sucking ass, and then we started not sucking, and then and it's good to see a team find that turnaround here and find themselves into a playoff position.
Yeah, and it's definitely been quite a wild ride watching them play, and they're a group of gamers that weren't really, well, at least the initial unlikely heroes, they weren't expected to do much, right? But they've I mean, like you said, changing 60% of their team has definitely moved them in the right direction. And it looks like our 2-minute timer is up, though. And it does look like Popcorn managed to get another player on, so we are going to have some games tonight. We got about 60 seconds before we start off our game. What do you think we're going to see, Scott? What do you think the scoreline is going to be?
I'm going to go... Oh, God. I'm not even going to say anything.
Right? Like, that's the worst part about watching Popcorn.
5-0 one way or the other.
Yeah, it's like Popcorn decides to show up, they're going to give J-Lift, I think, a run for their money. But if Popcorn doesn't show up, it's just going to be a 5-0 wipe. So you never really know until you get into that first game whether or not Popcorn's going to be really here.
Yeah, it's... you don't predict Popcorn games.
Yeah,
there are 6 teams in the league, and then there's Popcorn and Flippy B.
That's pretty true. And Popcorn's another one of those teams that has just like improved leaps and bounds, even for like just from last season, because they've kept their roster the same. And
they've made some changes.
Have they? Well, I mean, like minor ones, but it hasn't been mid-season though. I don't believe.
No. Yeah, same this season, but they were in minor league last season. And they made roster between this season.
Gotcha. Well, with this on our first match on Himmelsdorf, we have Popcorn on attack, bringing it 3 E100s, Jan Toronto in a V4, and Miles Breach in a Batchat 25T. And for J-Lift, we've got a 50B, 2 E100s, and 2 277s. So, Popcorn and their unconventional strats. I'm curious as to see what they're going to use the V4 for.
Let's go.
And
oh, sorry, I didn't realize you had stepped away for a moment.
I leaned away for 1 second to grab something, and we're gonna be holy cow! Look at this play by J-Lift.
Yeah, this is an aggressive push. They're gonna leave just the 1 E100 down on the two line just to keep an eye on the 1 cap, and they're sending everything else kind of up that AB line. Now the Batchat is already on the hill for Popcorn here. Miles Breach, he's in a decent position, and it looks like they're just going to use the V4 as a battering ram down the 8 line, using its frontal speed and armor, and the E100 is going to follow quickly behind. Now Miles is in a bad position here. If he hangs out there, he's going to get pushed by 2 277s and a 50B. He's dead, period. Yeah. So he's going to have to either play it smart and run. And oh no, is he going to take the... It looks like he's going to take the peek on this if J-Lift is ready for it.
Oh no.
Oh. And 2 shots connected. Looked like 1 bounced off the gun. 1 managed to do some damage there, dropping him to 1379. And he's reading the map, and he's getting the hell out of there. As Popcorn is now making a major push down the 8 line. And Miles is just going to get the hell out of Dodge with leaving the 277s and the 50B now to take the hill.
Yeah, there's 8 line here, push coming up from Popcorn. We'll see what they're able to do with it here. These 3 100s in the V4.
Now putting the V4 on cap is actually a smart play, right? Because it's got the speed, it's kind of funky armor profile when you're fighting it with an E100. And is he trying to back onto the cap? It kind of looks like oh nope, 11D skip, and Wallhacks have turned around. They've stopped going up the hill. They've pulled back down, getting a good shot from Jan Toronto into 11D there as he made the crossing. And they're kind of... Actually, Popcorn's in a crossfire here. They can't make this push. If they do, they'll die. from the two E100s and then the 277 here.
Yeah, this is an absolutely awful position to be in if you're Popcorn. Airlift has so many angles to work that it's just unreal.
Skip, though, bleeding a shot of damage as he tries to make the crossing down here to get with 11D. He does make it through, but he drops to 1770. Anakin and Mark, though, full HP in those E100s, are now going to kind of push in together. You can see them moving up the beeline. They're going to try to get onto that corner, as Might Be Giants and Leatherman have made the push with those E100s. Might Be Giants, though, dropping a lot of HP as those two E100 shells connect, and now it's a 50B in the 277.
277 Skip taking the first shot from Leatherman, not pinning though. Skip taking another shot there, does connect for dropping him down to 1141. Wall hacks and 11 to here, moving down the A line, looking to plug this gap that has been created right here, setting up a very nice crossfire. Meanwhile, a counter push coming in from these E100s. They're looking to pinch these 3 tanks right here in the middle. This is the fight that J-Lift wants, and they're going to take it here right now. Skip dropping down to 422. One shot to bring him down. These 3 E100s now in a very poor position. Wall hacks running.
Oh, was that HE?
Alleyway.
HE coming in from Anakin there. I think that was a misclick on his part. He only did about 100 damage there to Trouser Snake's rear, as now the TV100s are chasing him down. But Jan Toronto in that V4 is now in a position that they can get shots into the backside of those E100s. And Miles there in the backside managing to pick up the kill on 11D as well. And it doesn't look like... I mean, this could go either way, honestly. Wall hacks it down to 700 or 1711. Might Be Giants on fire now. Burning. Will he die? He will. He'll get picked there. And it's going to leave the Batchat here on 144 HP against Mark, who will get the snapshot pick. And Jan Toronto now is alone against Mark and Wallhacks. And this should be a win for J-Lift here in real short order.
Yeah, that hill push play that they had was very decisive, very good. Able to force Popcorn into a really bad position.
And Mark now just using the weight of the E100 to hold the 277 there. And Wallhacks coming in around to get that side shot and pick up the win in a very quick Himmelsdorf game. You know, considering how much HP both teams had there.
Yeah, usually the offense is generally considered to have the hill. Whenever they don't have the hill, they don't have a lot to play off of. Jan Toronto doing 5,400 damage in the P4, but it wasn't enough here as, you know, the side of J-Lift, Mark, especially in that E100, doing a lot of damage there, and they were able to pick up a pretty commanding win, forcing the offense into a super awkward position.
Well, they forced them basically into a crossfire the whole time. Once they got into that 8-line push, they were just kind of stuck there. They didn't really have anywhere to flex out of. And, I mean, Mark with 4,300 damage. Jan Toronto, 5,400 damage. You know, I'm wondering if anybody actually doing the fantasy tanks managed to pick him, because they just picked up a good net little point of points there. Yeah,
especially on a loss. I mean,
yeah,
hell, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, that was a pretty heavy carry by Toronto there, but it just was not enough. And J-Lift is going to pick up that win. Now we will switch sides. As always, for those of you just joining us, I'm Edge of Insanity, and I'm joined by Scott Sterling tonight as co-caster for these great set of games. We're watching Popcorn and J-Lift, number 4 and number 1, respectively, for the league at the moment. And we are about to go into our second game of Himmelsdorf here in our best of 9 series.
Yeah, I just realized I forgot to unmute during that game after our break, which was pretty cool.
Oh, rip. Ouch.
Yep. So, yeah. Heading on to Popcorn's defense here. They've been running a pretty slow defense throughout the league this season. A lot of E100s. They're possibly bringing in. It's kind of what the V4 was doing for them there. And
well, it's been more reminiscent of kind of some of the minor league strats that you were mentioning earlier. It's kind of like they don't take advantage of the flexibility. They kind of go inflexible, but it works because they stay close together. So and I mean, 12,000 HP to chew through is a lot of HP to chew through. Yeah, I mean, for anybody. And these games are only 8 minutes long, so it's not like they have a ton of time to be able to let their guns work. And going in, we have Popcorn on defense with 3 E100s. Again, the V4 into Batchat. And for J-Lift, we've got 2 50Bs coming out of Skip and 11D. Anakin with an E100, Anakin and Mark in E100s. And Wallhacks in a 277. So,
yeah, this is a pretty standard tank comms for both teams, excluding that version 4. we seem to bring him an E3 instead of that version 4.
Well, you know, he made it work for him, right? The V4 is kind of
yeah.
one of those tanks that, although it's not the tank that it was when it was first introduced, it's
Oh,
still
no.
it's still trolly enough that if you're rushing a shot, you have that possibility of bouncing. So I kind of understand bringing the V4 because it's definitely more maneuverable than an E3, and still packs quite a punch, especially when you're shooting at like E100s with heat. So it makes sense, but I'm curious to see how they're going to use it on defense, because
It doesn't have the DPM that the E3 has.
Oh, they're using it as the 277. Okay, they're putting him into that little window,
This is
and you know
awful.
we're.
It has no upper plate armor. Why not? Like, there's so many other tanks to put here.
They could have put an E100 there, and I think it would have been a better option. But you know, interesting choice. I mean, he's not going to stay there for long.
No.
But oh god, I don't know. I don't know anymore. You know, there are some things that you see, and that's just he's got a
Hey, look.
massive lower plate. Oh look, he got farmed. Oh no, it was an E100 that got farmed. It wasn't the V4 that time.
Yeah, he just took a lot of damage there. He's taking more. This is so bad.
Yeah, this does
Caleb
not
taking
look good
the
for
courtyard
popcorn.
control here. A lot of tanks lined up here. It looks like they're maybe going to try to make a counter push in front of the tanks on the hill.
This is not a good play from Popcorn here. Leatherman, I mean, he's not in a good position here using... I mean, he's exposing the entirety of his tank to anything on the hill. 11E and the 50B is bailing off, but they're leaving Skip up there, who should be off-clip relatively soon and will just be able to dump shots into here. I don't know what Popcorn is doing, but they're not really in a good position here at all.
I think that's an understatement, my fellow friend. As they're trying to like slide down the 3 line to get Anakin. If Anakin didn't make stupid pokes here, you know, he's fine, but he's just bleeding a lot of HP on the corner.
Well, he's over poking that corner, and well, he's not even side scraping.
Look at
He's just
Miles'
kind of
speed.
driving out. Yeah, Miles now coming in from behind. He should be. If he plays that right, he should be able to dump his full clip into Anakin. But with 11D there now, and that looks exactly like what Miles is trying to do. But 11D is there, so if he gets spotted, he will probably. There's a chance.
They know what's coming.
Oh, they know that there's something coming. Yep, and there it is. Miles getting lit by the 50B there. And the jig is up, and Miles is just going to get out of there instead of risking the shots there. And Anakin again poking the corner, kind of weird.
This is just... I mean... J-Lift has to make the play. But there's so many plays to make, because we're going to see the 50B. Rotating. Oh, they're just going to go for it. Gets there. One shot.
11D trying to get the clip. He bounces.
He needs to kill that tank. One more shot. He doesn't find the kill there. They might be Giants on 1100 HP. Taking the shot.
Ooh, 11D getting picked, though. And now Miles with that bat shot, he should be able to get a couple shots in Anakin. Mark, though, finally showing up in the other E100, is going to get a shot into Miles, but he misses. And
Mark pulling around here, looking to put a shot into They Might Be Giants.
Uh-oh, look at Wally. Look at Wally. Wally is not in a good position here as he's getting pushed by an E100 and a V4. And Wally now down to 800. He's going to get picked in real short order. Anakin dropping as well. And, okay, this went from one extreme to the other. And Popcorn looking pretty solid here for the pickup here as Skip is now chasing down Miles in the bat chat. But he's going to have to reload here. And Mark is the only thing that has any sort of HP at the moment.
So, it's winnable.
It is, but they... well...
Nope, not
nope,
winnable.
not anymore.
Not anymore. No,
not anymore.
No. What?
Well, actually, I guess it still technically could be,
No.
but Skip is going to have to carry his ass off. Like, he'll have to get the V4 out, track it, and farm it. No, but they're not taking the bait. They're not going to full push him. They're just waiting.
And he would have to high roll him.
Yeah.
They're just gonna fall back.
And it looks like Skip is just trying to get
He's
things
just
over.
going next. He's
Yeah.
just going next.
Trying to farm those fantasy points.
Wait.
Will he be able to pick up Trouser? He will.
He's not able to get around the V4 though. The V4 is just
Nope.
gonna pick him up here now.
Unless... Nope. I was saying, V4 heat, maybe he'll hit the track on accident on the move, but nope.
That would be hilarious.
It would be. Well, with that, it'll be a tied game series. Each team taking their defense on Himmelsdorf. Trouser Snake doing 4,400 damage. Toronto with 2,600. Mighty Giants with 2,600. Miles with 2,200. And, we were talking about the E100s. Just, that's 9,000 HP that you have to chew through to get through that. It's a lot of time that you have to spend just, clicking and reloading. And I think that their HP bought them time to whittle down J-Lift enough to make the push and play and win.
They had the whole team of Popcorn froze on the 3 line. They could have rotated 11D and Skip to anywhere on the map, and all that they had as a flank on Popcorn was Miles Beach, and they knew where he was.
Yeah, it was...
Why didn't they just let the 50B from the hill come around and down from of Skip, and then they can pinch Miles Beach in because they know he's out there. If he crosses back, then he's gonna get shot. And I realized he's gonna trade a Bad Chat clip for a 50B clip, but the Bad Chat can't clip out the 50B. He was on full health, and just
mistakes. Easy mistakes that were made.
They had them perfect. I'm sure they're fuming after that because that was a textbook. J-Lift had them, tied up and just with a bow on them. Like Christmas Vacation. Eddie bringing his boss to Clark for Christmas with a big bow tied on his forehead. That's what it was. Popcorn was sitting there. They had nowhere to go. They were completely tied up, and then they just let him go. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was... Wallhacks got isolated. He got pushed by 2 tanks. And at the same time, 11D over-peaked that. In his desire to get the clip out to kill Leatherman, he traded his tank away instead of going for the safer clip dump, and it just kind of unraveled from that point there.
Yeah, I don't know. It was crazy.
Definitely a bit of a misplay, but we will be moving on to our next map, which will be Sand River, and that is a J-Lift pick. I remembered this time. And it'll be Popcorn on defense for that first. So Sand River, you and I talked about it earlier. It's one of those maps that is a much better defensively oriented map. It's definitely easier to defend than it is to make that attack. Both of these teams, though, bringing Kronwagens as Popcorn for their defense brings 2 Kronwagens, a Batchat 25T, a CS63, and an STB1. In J-Lift, bringing Mark in the IS-7 reps in a Kronwagen, Wallhacks in a Batchat 11E and a CS63, and Anakin in an STB. Now, if memory serves, Scott, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure J-Lift made a pickup over the weekend, right? They've picked up Jack as well on their team, correct?
Yeah, they did.
So, pretty good depth of player skill here for J-Lift. If they need to make the sub, but it looks like Jack might have some stuff going on as Mark is playing tonight. So quick push here. It looks like they're going to use the CS63 and the Batchat as a scout run here to try to get some eyes in. I don't know why both of them are making this run. Except there it is. They're going to try to get an early shot into Anakin, but Trouser Snake misses the shot. And Anakin is going to get up underneath pretty free without losing any HP at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, we're going to see 11 here. Is he going to cross the A line?
It would be silly if he does, and yeah, it looks like he's kind of stopping there. At least he should wait until they have better eyes there. Yeah, Anakin should be able to get the spot here. He at least lit the 2 Kronwagens, possibly Miles as well. Trouser Snake and the CS63 now flexing up towards A0. They've got Leatherman down on the other side on that F9 ridge area. And it looks like J-Lift is kind of just closing in. They've decided that, they don't need to worry about where Leatherman is. And I don't know, are those blind shots going in on the STB, or is Leatherman lit? Yeah, those are blind shots going in on him, dropping him to 1150.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to, find out where that tank is there, and once you do, it's, they can start putting damage in. These Krons are in a bad spot.
Yeah, this is just not a good spot. Wallhack's now crossing for... Will he make the crossing? He's going to get a shot into Mighty Giants, but he's going to bleed a little bit there.
They're just going to pick these Kron bonds here. You know, 11 to here is holding this side angle. If those Krons start shooting him too much, they're going to be on reload, wall hacks. Playing that low side there, another shot traded back onto that Kronvon of the might be Giants. It looks like this push just kind of like gradual pushover, just to pick these Krons is coming in here as reps now.
Oh, ammo rack on Anakin. Oh,
Near full
no.
health. And that's going to be huge for Popcorn, even though the game is still heavily in favor of J-Lift. Reps on reload, backing off your
Wall
Miles.
hex dropping from Miles.
But two one-shot tanks here on the side of Popcorn, looking to go down here pretty quickly. Miles Beach firing another shot in here, but he is going to be going reload as well as Jan Toronto. I do believe Reps gets off reload first if he's able to pick up
Rep
both
should
these
be
one-shot tanks.
Rep should be off reload first. Trouser Stick needs to get in here. 11 though, riding that ridge. He's bleeding so much HP. He's going to try to pick Miles here. Will he manage to do it? He will. He'll pick Miles, but he'll get picked himself by Trouser Snake. And this has just been a solid trade back and forth as Leatherman in the STB now getting some good shots into Mark. Trouser Snake trying to chase down Reps here. He will probably get the kill here. Yes, he will. And now it's an IS-7 to chase down a CS-63. Oh, and Mark missing that shot just barely on the rear of the CS-63.
Yeah,
And that went backwards pretty quickly for J-Lift there.
Yeah.
Poor
RNG
Anakin.
can really
The real question is where did Anakin's turret land?
I think it's off to the right down there.
it is gone.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that was an RNG shell. Poor J-Lift. That was they were in great positions there. They were in a perfect setup to pull that win, and RNG is a cruel mistress. Sometimes she gives, sometimes she takes, and
She took a lot.
She
right
took.
there.
I mean, she took what 2,000 HP right out of the pool immediately.
There's not much for Mark to do here.
No, it's really just, is Popcorn going to make the play? But
They don't need to.
They don't. Now, Mark is actually making a smart move here. He's coming low. He's isolating himself a little bit from the STB. But yeah, the CS speed. Now, one thing that Mark could do is he could back up onto that 2-cap, try to apply a little bit of pressure, because the IS-7 can play a hull down pretty decently.
Oh, very decently.
But there's not really much of a hull down there, but he at least could try to bait them into trying to get the resets, and he might be able to get a lucky shot in on the CS-63 or so. And the STB's moved now to get some shots in as well.
Wouldn't it be beauty if he ammo racks Trousers tank here? He's not going to.
No, he's not going to. Yeah, I don't think he's even get a shot on. He's just trying to get He does get a shot in, though, and 1 HP ram. Oh, poor Mark. And it looked like J-Lift was just kind of like, okay, next
Go
after
next,
that.
yeah. That's super unfortunate.
That was an unlucky ammo rack there on J-Lift for Popcorn. Popcorn securing that win, going up 2-1 now over J-Lift. And, yeah, poor Anakin. Had he been alive, solid J-Lift win, I think.
I mean, the thing is, like, you can't pick a better tank to have dead. The guy with the most DPM, with an insane gun depression tank, there to play that ridge, poking up and over, looking to pick those Krons there, and they would have had him.
They would have.
I mean, they even had a slight, like, HP lead even after that, but it was just doomed. That's just super unfortunate for J-Lift there, as Popcorn's going to be picking up the 2-1 advantage here now, heading on to J-Lift's Sand River defense.
And just to kind of give a little bit of a clue in to people who are watching us over here and not watching the sidecast, Team Moist is currently up 3-1 over Flippy B.
Well, they got around.
Yep. Flippy B did manage to pick up a win, so good for them. Yeah, golf claps all around.
Go Flippy B.
Oh, poor. I feel bad. Like, I'm not shitting on them because they're very good players. It's just, it's rough. It's rough when you're at that point. It's hard to kind of find a way to go in. Yeah. Like, you cheer for them because you want to see them win because doesn't really happen that
Oh,
often.
we're gonna see the debut.
Oh, and here comes the debut of Jack_NA with Mark going out, and they're going to move Reps in and move Skip out. So a couple of roster changes coming up for J-Lift, and we will get the Major League debut for this season anyway of Jack.
Yeah, pickup played on SAFB last season. Team had a quals mishap this season. Weren't able to make it in the league, but picked up by J-Lift here, should be a good addition to the team. I know he's friends with a bunch of guys on that team, and
Well, he's a solid player and a solid caller as well, so his insight might be able to help them move around a little bit more, get a fresh perspective sometimes, which is always welcome when you find yourselves down a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how he meshes in with J-Lift here. And as we go in, we will have Popcorn on the attack, bringing 2 Kronwagens, 2 Batchats, and an STB. So a repeat of what we just saw for their lineup. And J-Lift bringing a Kronwagen, 2 Batchat 25Ts, an STB, and a T100 for their defense.
And the T100 gives the defense some options here. It can kind of like secure the K-line play. What I expect to see here is the double Batchat heading south with the T100, maybe the STB holding ridge, while the Kromvon kind of holds the middle and looks to play off the south side of that ridge.
Exactly, and the reality is that T100, its strongest suit is going to be that vision, and when you're on defense, if you can keep them at arm's length, you can
I was
definitely.
Wrong.
Oh yeah, they're sending Anakin right up the mid. It looks like he's going to do that typical kind of run on the 2 line, but there's not, or on the 2 cap thing. Actually, he's just going to poke it. He's not even going to do the run. But not spotting anything, they now know that, well, there's nothing pushing the 2 cap that aggressively there.
Yeah, what he's kind of looking for here is there's a couple different ways to get those Krons to the D6 position. Driving up the center at the beginning is a pretty common play, and with that T100 there, they can spot it pretty soon. Look to get some bleed on it. Now we are going to be seeing that T100 rotate out, move down the 0 line, and possibly give them a little bit of vision on the K line.
Yeah, and one thing that was interesting, we were riding along on that T100 is the fact that they elected to use the CVS, which is one of those new pieces of equipment, to just kind of remove bushes, which is kind of an interesting choice for Sand River because there's not that many areas that
have bushes.
Yeah, but and that's the thing, right? And that's why it's an interesting choice because the areas that do have bushes are kind of obvious places that you would play. So I don't know if it might have been Anakin had the T100 set up for a different map, and it was just he just pulled it up, or if they were looking for something specifically, but not a. Not a choice that I would have made as far as equipment goes.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's. I doubt it's going to come back to bite them in this game here, as we're seeing just an invigorating match of World of Tanks right now. Both teams have moved from their spawn and sat there. Popcorn, they don't have a lot of vision right now. They, I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those games where they sit around and go, let's might as well go ahead and push north. And
I mean, it looks like it's ultimately going to be a 2 cap play, right? That with the 2 Kronwagens where they are, it's definitely to play that ridge. They've got the 2 Batchets and the STB. If I were Pop, what viral? What are we looking at? We're looking at some huts.
I mean, this is honestly about as
I mean,
zoom in on this. See what they're tanning.
Yeah,
are they tanning leather?
Viral looking for a good deal on a vacation bungalow.
Beyond Toronto going for the cross here, taking 2 shots of damage. Can they make it 3?
Yeah, they're going
3
to
shots.
Jack
The
shit. Track.
4.
One more from Jack. Well, Jack 5 full clip from Jack, dropping Yon Toronto down to 326. Good crossfire there coming in, and now Might Be Giants is going to make the crossing as well. He's probably going to eat a shot from wall hacks, possibly, because Jack is on full reload. Nope, Might Be Giants is going to cross freely, but I don't know if it was worth losing 1,700 HP to make that crossing.
I'm going to go with no.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well.
Reps is going to sit here and play up pretty close. They're going to try to pick Reps here. The STB does have some support. The Might Be Giants now pushing around in that Cromvon, taking a lot
What
of
are
damage
they
here. 11 putting another one in
doing?
here. One more from Rips, not actually able to pick him up here, dropping down to 23 HP. One more from 11 is going to pick him up here though. Miles Beach pulling up and over. They still haven't killed Reps yet. Miles Beach looking to finish that up. He does. 11 dropping another shot of damage into him, dropping down 413. But you know, it's just.
Wallhack's down to Wallhack's dropping there. Jack now should be on reload here very shortly as he's going to pick up Jan Toronto and the Kronwagen. Leatherman in that STB. Jack down to 251 HP. Will he get 2 more shots off? No, Jack is now on reload as Leatherman chases him down. 11D in the STB and Anakin in that T100 need to make their play here and put the pressure onto Leatherman. Pick him up before Trouser Snake and that Batjack can get his gun into the game. They should be able to pick him up. Oh, 11D bouncing off of the turret there. Oh, Anakin bouncing off as well. We'll have to be going for the ram. And now Trouser Snake is trying to just make a run for it here as the T100 is chasing him down. Now, they need to be careful here.
Trouser Snake is coming off of reload.
And he can clip both of them and win this game. So, I think J-Lift kind of sensing that a bit are gonna... Anakin on that ridge, I don't know why. He's Trouser Snake getting the shot in. Trouser Snake getting another shot in. He's going to pick up 11D. He's got one more shot into 11D. He needs to get the kill there. He doesn't go for the kill on 11D.
Low rolled him.
That is unfortunate.
Low rolled him.
Yeah, that was close.
Got a little weird. But J-Lift picking up the win. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean that was a solid win for J-Lift, but it was touch and go there all the way up until the very end. Jack, though, on his Major League debut, doing 3,700 damage, a kill, 100% pen ratio with that Batchat 25D, and his first 96 points for Fantasy League. On the flip side, though, Trouser Snake, top damage for Popcorn with 2,900, 1 kill, and 100% pen ratio as well. I don't know... Could it have been a little bit closer if Anakin had been running something more like that would have upped his DPM over the Commander Vision system? Possibly, but a solid win coming there for J-Lift. Even though it was kind of close there at the end. If Trouser Snake had managed to get the high roll to kill, it was a toss-up as to whether or not J-Lift would have won that.
Yeah, they pushed up and over onto Mark there, or Reps. I'm sorry, and it just Reps survived for so long. 11D in that STB cranking out damage that makes you think, is this thing an autoloader? It fires just that fast. And, you know, decent try to salvage play for Popcorn there, you know, but the fact that, you know, Jan Toronto got insanely farmed by Jack on that cross, they were very set up for the stopping them making that play. And,
well, and then after that, they make the play to make the push on Reps, right? Might Be Giants just kind of went in by himself, so I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there for Popcorn. You know, it was obvious that they intended to push Reps to kill him because they moved Miles and Might Be Giants and Jan Toronto all in. But
yeah.
Might Be Giants pushing in by himself like that, the Kronwagen got a full clip, Reps got a full clip out into him. And then 11D in the background was able to get shots into him as well, and it bled their one full health remaining Kronwagen to nothing in the span of a couple seconds. He got one clip and then was dead.
What they were trying to do there is get Reps clip onto that Kronwagen.
Yeah,
The
no,
reason is because like if he's able to like clip out one of the other tanks there, the thing is the Kronwagen, he pushes up and over, puts his 3 shots in, like. That's all you can ask for. That's what the tank's designed to do. And you're just kind of hoping to get the 3 shots back from Reps, and then hopefully, you know, your Batchat there is able to pick him up, which he eventually did do. A lot of shots not connecting there onto him, and it was just, you know, the fact that you lost that much HP on Jan Toronto on that cross is just really
that was just a bad setup. But we are moving on to our next game, Cliff. On Cliff, and we will have it doesn't really matter who's on attack and who's on defense when it comes to Cliff, but we have got 2 Batchats, a CS63 and STB, and a TVP coming out of Popcorn. And for J-Lift, we've got 2 Batchats, CS63, and 2 STBs. So those 2 STBs, in my opinion, that reads kind of more of a mid play to take control of that mid-ridge area. But the 2 Batchats with that clip potential, Wallhacks and Jack, they should be able to get out a good amount of damage onto Popcorn there if they play that correctly.
Oh yeah, no doubt. The Batchats just allow you to control so much on this map. You know, the clip potential that the Batchat brings is just incredibly impressive.
And it looks like it's going to be a solid mid play coming here from J-Lift and from Popcorn, as both teams are now heading directly there. Now the CS63s will beat the Bat Chat there with that turbo boost, but the TVP with that clip, it's dangerous in close quarters against autoloaders.
I think 3 tanks go low here from the side of Popcorn, that TVP, and the double Bat Chat.
Wallhacks here has to be careful, though, as he's getting aggressed. He's not in the best position here, as the TVP is pushing around. Might Be Giants coming around behind. Wallhacks is going to drop here real quickly. He's going to get off a couple shots, but not really enough here, as Jan Toronto is now on full reload. Jack managing to get a couple shots in as well, and they're going to pick Miles Breach in the Bat Chat.
Yeah, Miles Beach is going down. The thing is, J-Lift does have high ramp control. So they're hoping to try to translate this into a victory, as Anakin is taking a lot of damage here. CS3 putting a shot into him and finishing up here. Beyond, they're finishing off where he's able to get that second deep clip off here. 11 to here in the CS63. Needs to get as useful as possible. Leatherman there in the STB1 taking a couple shots of damage. 2 more is going to be able to bring him down. 11, putting another one into him there, but Trouser Snake flipping the side of that ridge, hoping to put a shot here into 11, but 11 chasing him off the ramp. It's going to reestablish high ramp control here for Popcorn, but Jack coming in here, likely going to be off reload here very soon, but the same can be said for the Might Be Giants, as 11 here. Still looking to contest that top ramp control. Whoever finds this pick is going to win. 11 looking for a shot.
Oh,
not
misses the shot on the Bat Chat,
they do
barely
know
there.
They Might Be Giants is going to be riding around the low ridge here. Jack in the same with the shot in here. 11 trying to come in and fight. He rams. They Might Be Giant trying to get him. Jack able to pick him up there. That's a big advantage for J-Lift. Incredible play by 11 there. Ram coming in here. Jack is going to be able to find one more. Yes, he is. That's going to be a win for J-Lift. Really good play there from 11.
You know, the CS63, it's not only speed, but how fucking heavy that tank is as well. And you can see, I mean, he pulled, what, 800 HP off of that Bat Chat with that ram alone?
Yeah, that was a lot. Big to turn the tide there. The thing is about the Bat Chat, it doesn't have the fastest, turret traverse speed. Once he got that turret off, I think that was kind of a messy play from the Might Be Giants. He kind of underestimated his opponent there. Jack was sitting there with his clip in, ready to go, and ripped him off. The thing is in this game, Jan Toronto, using that TVP clip, they picked Wallhack sitting behind that rock. It's kind of a play we've seen before in the past. I think where Bat Chat is, where Wallhacks and his Bat Chat was, is, he's there to look up on high ramp, which is a very important position to hold in 5v5. But they just said, we're not going high ramp, we want this pick. They were able to find the pick, but they had a Bat Chat low side. Jack was able to get some damage into him. The tanks high ramp were able to, farm out that Bat Chat on low side, so they ended up trading 1 for 1. A little bit of an advantage in favor of Popcorn, positional advantage, however, in favor of J-Lift.
And a little bit that you and I both missed, though, and that one of our admins actually picked up on. Leatherman killed Jan Toronto, so that we had a team kill in that brawl. How much of a difference does that make? Probably not much in the scheme of things, because if it's a one shot to an STB, it's a one shot to J-Left. But that TVP, it still had the ability to get another clip. I don't think
it does a lot.
I don't think so either, but
He was gonna die.
we've seen RNG work already once tonight, so you never know. But big play coming in there from 11. Jack again, top damage, 3,100 damage, 3 kills. But that ram there at the very end to pick Miles, and I think, or it might be Giants rather. I think that what Might Be Giants was hoping is that by committing low, he could bait 11 into committing high onto their CS63 a little bit. Mm-hmm. And hopefully he was hoping that he would be able to pick Jack, because he did have the HP advantage on Jack by about 600. So, and a little bit of an update here coming from Viral. Team Moist up on Flippy B 4-2 at the moment.
Let's go, Flippy B! They picked up another one, boys!
moving right along.
Heading in here, Popcorn going to bring a Bat Chat, CS63, double STB1, and TVP. On the side of J-Lift, double Bat Chat, CS63, double STB. It's the same team comps, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah, I think it is. You stick with what works, right? Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, it's the same comp. Yeah, exactly the same comp from both teams.
Yeah, so we will see, what they decide to do with it here. It looks like it's going to be 5 going mid here from the side of J-Lift. No 1-2 line. Colors backwards.
Yep, colors backwards.
5 coming here from Popcorn, and 5 coming here for J-Lift.
And did you notice the one thing coming out of Leatherman in the STB? He is HP boosted, 2160 HP.
interesting. It can, come into
It's
effect.
if somebody low rolls, it's an extra shot of damage that you have to absorb. But here comes Wellhack's 11 in Jack in the
It's a
C2
similar
bat chats.
play.
Yeah, it's a similar play to what they just ran. Jack though is kind of in not the best position there as he's getting farmed a lot there by the TVP in the bat chat. But 11 now coming in from the side. John Toronto should go down. They do trade Jack for it though. Miles reached down to 668 HP, down to 301. 11 chasing him down in that CS63. He will pick up the kill. Wallhacks though is going to be on reload now, as Skip in the STB and Anakin are going to try to focus on Trouser Snake in the CS63. 11 now dealing with Might Be Giants in the STB, and I think this is swinging pretty decisively in Jayliff's favor here, as they should be able to pick up Might Be Giants here, as Leatherman is chasing down Wallhacks, who's on reload, just buying some time. And with that, Jayliff is going to pick up a solid win on Cliff, making it a 4-2 game series against Popcorn.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting trade there. The TVP from the side of Popcorn playing a similar position to Wallhacks last game. He was the pick for J-Lift, and I believe it was Jack playing his bad chat went to the center. That's who Popcorn said, "Kill this man now." And they were trying to go onto that bad chat. Started putting some shells into him. Jack doing a very good job of kiting away from the fight. Survived an extra maybe shot longer than he could have by a couple of seconds, just biding time. And then by then, J-Lift was able to get a lot of damage in there. The TVP of Jan Toronto getting his full clip out, but he dies very quickly. They might be Giants not getting a lot of damage in there. Kind of a bad pen rate. But J-Lift very swift and decisive that game there, picking up the attack on Cliff, putting them 4-2.
Yeah, and with that, we are very quickly on match point. So if J-Lift picks up this next win, they will take the game series, and we are going to move on to Prokhorovka here very shortly. Cliff is one of those maps rather, that I personally enjoy watching just because you get such good brawls out of it. I mean, both of these teams brawled very well. J-Lift obviously brawling better, but they're always entertaining to watch, and J-Lift definitely brought it home with that win pretty decisively there. Prokhorovka, though, J-Lift has a pretty good win rate on Prokhorovka, if memory serves. This should be pretty. Yeah, this should be pretty good actually, to watch and enjoy.
Yeah, Proc is a pretty interesting map. It's very open. I think that it's kind of a caller's map. We saw J-Lift play a game on this map where they completely decimated the enemy, and they won a 4v5 where Wallhacks never fired a shot the whole game. Just absolutely textbook game, and we'll see what they decide to do. Coming up onto this one, I think that Wallhack's experience, and the World of Tanks competitive scene, that's always pretty, nice to have coming onto a map like this where rotations matter so much.
And we do have just a little bit before we go in to our next game, as some of these teams make some switches. Oh yeah, and here comes the stats from Viro. J-Lift's attack ratio win rate on Proc is 83.33%, and their defense win rate is 66.67%. So definitely one of their better maps. They're very comfortable with it.
I think that's 4 for 6, and then they're 5 and 4 for 6. So they're
it's also their pick
9 of
for this.
12.
So
yeah,
you pick what you're comfortable with. So I'm wondering for this what we're going to see, but should be going in a couple seconds.
Yep, here we go, heading in. Wow, that's something. Popcorn bringing in IS-4, an S-Conk, double bat chat, and T100, while J-Lift bringing in IS-7, S-Conk, bat chat, CS63, and T100. IS-4.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it too much. I don't hate it. I think that the
no,
it's awful.
No, it's a great tank, especially after the buff. It's really just gotten better. But in a 5v5, I don't know if an IS-4 would have been my choice, because an IS-4 does better when it can side scrape off. Well, actually, it looks like that's exactly what they're going to use. No, never mind. I thought that maybe they were going to put him at the rock, but I don't know. An IS-4 I find tends to do better in a city. than it does with.
Oh, this could go really poorly.
Jan Toronto is.
Got cover. 11D looking for this little bit of vision here. Shot coming out onto him, not connecting here as he does move down the 0 line
Jan
into
Toronto
the
getting
river.
the shot
Jan
in,
Toronto
though.
getting spotted.
But now the
Leather-
Batchat's up here
Leatherman
on
goes
this
bomb.
ridge. 11D doing what Octobear could not.
But there's a
and
counter
getting
push
the
coming here onto 11D
grudge.
here. The bad chat falling off the hill. 11D in some serious trouble. He's going to have to try to get away from Trouser Snake as fast as possible here. 2 shots connecting onto him. Jan Toronto putting one in as well. Can he find the third? Not quite able to on that bad chat. If 11D getting one more shot in this tower. Oh, he's not able to. And, this is going to have to get a response out of J-Left here as they are going to be pushing in here very soon. Trouser Snake's down.
Anakin getting set on fire, though, by the IS-4 dropping, and Jan Toronto down to 149 HP as it's a 3v5 game in quick succession here. But the HP is very similar still at the moment. Jack coming in on his clip. He should be able to pick Trouser Snake and drop him here in short order. But Wallhacks is just not in a good position here. I don't know what Skip is doing back there. He's coming in.
He's able to.
Yeah, Jack gets the kill, but now he's on reload, and he's isolated from Skip here, and he's just going to get picked up by the IS-4 and the Super Conqueror.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough position to be in here.
Is
Skip
Jack
on that
stuck?
S-Conk trying to close distance. He's he puts one shot into the S-Conk of Leatherman here. Another one will be enough to pick him up here. And it's super rough position for Skip to be in. He's got a bit of a high ground, but he's in a 1v2, and the bad shot is in a great spot as well. Going to be coming off reload here very quickly. Skip needs to play this as smart as he possibly can. Puts one into the IS-4 there. Using that reload speed, but he's up the IS-4 bad chat now. Comes to poke in, puts one shot in. Skip able to put another shot in here, but the bad chat going to be able to get 2 more shots. One, another kick connecting to the IS-4, and it's looking pretty doomed here as they might be Giants is going to find the last one here to pick up the round. Not.
Nope.
No.
He's going to miss that shot. Miles, though, off reload? He gets one shot. Yes, he does, and he does manage to get that shot right into Skip.
That was a fucking gamer shot.
Yeah, that went sideways real fucking quick for J-Lift. I don't know if that was well played by Popcorn or badly played by J-Lift.
Found himself in a trap was the biggest thing. He found himself into a super bad position. You know, the bat chat from Popcorn there, driving it behind him, hitting some shots into him, forcing that CS63 of 11 to try to drive out, but he was just into the open. Got picked up very quickly. Trades coming in from J-Lift, trying to find something to do there, but just weren't able to. They might be Giants in the IS-4. 3,292 damage.
Yeah, we made fun of him for the IS-4, but tell you what, he made it work for them. Picking up a kill and 3,200 damage and 88% hit pen ratio. That's pretty solid for any tank. So,
Do we have a score update from the other game?
We do not as of right now.
Fortunate.
But I'm gonna scroll up, and I don't see people. I don't think it's 4-2 anymore because I don't see people in the TeamSpeak. But
big unfortunate.
Yeah, big unlucky. And that was it's still 4-2. Okay. Well, we'll have to see how that develops, but anyway. We have about 60 seconds before we go into our next game on Proc. Now, we are switching sides, of course, so J-Lift will be on defense, and Popcorn will be on attack. Should be interesting to see. I don't know how... I mean, J-Lift should be able to pull a defense here, because all of these maps kind of edge towards that defensive preference, but it's gonna depend on... really how things play out. I'm wondering if they're going to bring that T100 again for Anakin, with Anakin in that T100, because he does run that CVS, so he, on proc it actually makes sense. He'll at least be able to get some good eyes in, but it really depends on how Popcorn responds for their attack, and I am just trying to talk to Phil's time as we wait for this next game to go in. I don't know, I'm rambling at this point, but, it's like...
trying to think of something to say.
Yeah, because we've said basically all that could be said. J-Lift got caught in a trap, Popcorn springed it well, and J-Lift got clapped pretty hard there. But, things change so quickly when it comes to these 5v5 matches that, next game we could get 4 ammo max in a row. It just depends on how RNG decides to work.
Yeah, we're gonna be loading in here as I do hear that
Yeah,
famous ticker counting
that
down.
countdown timer, boy.
Yeah. From the side of Popcorn, we get an S-Conk double bat chat CS63 and a T100. While on the opposing defending side of J-Lift, we get an S-Conk double bat chat CS63 and an STB1 here. We'll see what they do decide to do with these tanks as we're going to be heading into battle very soon.
That's a really aggressive lineup coming from J-Lift. I'm wondering if they're going to kind of do what they've done in the past. As far nope, never mind. They're not going to do it right away. You know, I was expecting them to do that textbook 2-line push that they've seemed to have done in the past, where they just kind of send all 4 of their medium tanks. They keep a Super Conqueror in the middle, and then they just kind of sweep across the midfield, going through the bowls individually. But right away, Jan Toronto in the T100 there, not actually getting any sort of eyes onto anybody on J-Lift, but he did get lit in return there. So interesting. And he eats a shot for it too. I don't know how the hell did he's not running optics. That's how he did it. He's running turbo, vents, and a rammer. He's not running optics on a T100.
That's interesting.
I mean, he's gonna get there quicker, but
I guess
not what I would have done. But you know, okay. The T100 is good. It has good eyes, but you know, optics just changed the name of the game so much that I don't know why he's not running him. Now, skipping that Super Conqueror, he is gonna kind of play the mid-ridge area just to kind of keep any sort of push. He'll be kind of like a meat shield to buy a little bit of time if J-Lift need it. And they're sending the CS63 11D aggressively down south, making a play up the tracks. But it looks like they've kind of realized that they're all up north, so he's gonna come back now. But
yeah,
those 2 bat chats getting
kind
set
of vision run here. The map's been divided here. The only tank that's sort of in an awkward situation is that S-Conk from J-Lift, and there is Skip. He's kind of playing a position on the other side of the rails all to himself. Maybe Popcorn tries to play to pick that tank, but currently as it sits, Skip does take a shot of damage there. They're gonna know we're a few tanks here. He's just gonna back down and kind of look at those tanks to go hold down. That's a bit of information for him here. He does take another shot of damage here now.
That was a hell of a shot there coming in from the Super Conqueror. Like that was barely the top of the commander's cupola. Holy shit! Yeah, that was a good pen. Skip though dropping to 1843. They know that the Super Conqueror is in the middle because they did light him there, and it looks like Popcorn is now flexing back south. It's ultimately on Popcorn's game, right? Or it's ultimately J-Lift's game, right? Because they're on defense, so they can just sit here and wait for Popcorn to make the mistake, which is the smart way to do it, I think.
Popcorn making the south rotation here. They could try an up and over middle. You're noticing that they're bringing that STB and Bad Chet in just a little bit closer. I think Popcorn realizing that is the preferred play here for Popcorn to pick that S-Conk. They've brought in their medium tanks a little bit closer into the EF lines, so if they do try to up and over that tank, they'll take a lot of bleed in return. The T100 spotting the CS63 in the south, and we are seeing this S-Conk, CS63, and Bad Chat from Popcorn here, rounding around the south here. They could possibly look for this up and over.
I think they're going for I think they're going for Skip here. They're sending the CS63s up. They're keeping Might Be Giants in the back in case they decide to send anything. He can get some shots at long range. And they're playing this really carefully to try to get in, but wall hacks and the STB might be out. And here it comes. They're going to sneak around. Oh, here goes Skip, though. Skip is going to bleed. He's going to die. These 3 tanks need to just get in, kill him, and then get over the ridge before the Batchat and the STB can get in. Leatherman in the Super Conqueror is isolated here, which is not good. The wall hack is now coming in with the Batchat, but he should be able to take a Miles Beach here very shortly. And Might Be Giants in the back, and the Batchat is providing good cover fire there. And actually, it's looking pretty solidly in Popcorn's favor here as J-Lift drops 2 tanks there in short order. And they're now they've just basically traded sides, and it's now a hill brawl between the 2 teams. Yeah,
Leatherman going to go down here very quickly as well. They're trying to get Anakin out here as fast as possible. The T100 of Popcorn kiting out, trying to get into that second finger. 11D looking to block Trouser Snake. He does very well. Anakin could possibly get one more shot of damage off there as he's swinging back. Going to be able to pick Anakin up here in the T100. The T100 able to pick up Anakin there. 11D putting a shot of damage into Trouser Snake. The Bad Chat on reload from Jack there, but 11D is able to pick up that kill. But they might be Giants and Jan Toronto running the CS63 down. Going to be able to pick him up very quickly here. The ram damage able to get him low enough for the bad chat shot to be able to bring him down. First shot not connecting.
Bounce
there
from 11.
Allowing 11 to put another one in. Another shot not connecting there from the Miami Giants. The T100 shot not connecting here. 11 not able to get one more in here, but Jack now coming off reload, putting a shot into Jan Toronto. Going to be able to pick up him here now. And we'll see. Does he have the high rolls? Does he have what it takes? One more shot on the ram could possibly do it here. Is Jack going to be able to do it? Momentum break there from the Miami Giants. He's kiting around that bad chat. The shot coming out.
Oh,
from
just
Jack.
so close.
Can the ram do it? No ram damage on the first one. He may need to break contact. What's he going to do? What's going to be a decision? They might be Giants trying to get away here now, trying to just slow Jack down. Jack breaking contact now, realizing that they might be Giants is going to be off reload here very soon, slightly before him. Jack trying to kite around the buildings. Not sure what's going to happen here. It's a police chase at this point. Slow down, sir. Slow down. You're breaking the speed limit. The first auto aim shot does connect here on the Jack. The second one connects. They might be Giants able to pick up the win there for Popcorn, sending us into overtime.
So close. So close. 48 damage. All that separates J-Lift from a solid win as we go into overtime and a 4-4 tied game. That was a game. Holy shit.
You know, RNG coming into factor there. Jack just not able to get the rolls that he needed in order to pick up the victory there. They might be Giants surviving on 48 HP in order to take the victory for Popcorn, sending us into overtime here. You know, securing both teams a point, but I'm sure they all want as much as they can possibly get.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we said it earlier, RNG giveth, RNG taketh away, and just the little bit of a low roll there from Jack was enough to keep Might Be Giants alive and secure the win for Popcorn there. And it just goes to show the games never really are over until they're over. And I know that sounds cliche as hell, but it's incredible how quickly things can switch here. Because J-Lift took the early advantage there, and then they proceeded, like, Skip died, and then Wallhacks proceeded to drop it almost immediately afterwards. 11D had good play covering for Anakin, simping for him, trying to eat those shots. Anakin managing to get a good amount of damage off for as low HP as he was, but ultimately Jan Toronto in that T100. You know, we commented that he didn't have optics, but had he had optics, he probably wouldn't have done 3,400 damage and helped them secure that win. You know, Jan Toronto first impressing us with the V4 and now with the T100. You know, these teams are both very good, and with that, we are going to move on to our tiebreaker, our overtime game. Now, based on the rules, it's quickest attack win, which is J-Lift who did that, so they will have a choice of attack or defense on Ruinberg, and they have elected to choose defense for Ruinberg. So we should see an interesting game coming here shortly.
We don't get to see the map very often here, which you know, maybe the teams have something interesting to pull out of the bag. So I mean, I'm down. Let's see what happens here. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, this is anybody's game, and the reality of it is that J-Lift, I'm pretty sure, regardless of whether they win this or lose this, is still going to be solidly in second place. I think FHS, because they won, they'll get those 3 points, right? Or they'll get their points. They'll get their points, right? And I think it puts them in first place.
This, they'll be tied with FHS.
Okay, that's what it is, yeah. I didn't have the numbers right in front of me, but as we go in, we're going to have Popcorn on attack, bringing, again, an IS-4, 2277s, and a batch at 25, two batch at 25Ts, rather, and J-Lift for their defense, bringing a 50B E100, 2277s, and a bat chat.
So, yeah.
Okay, so the way that it'll work is if J-Lift wins this, they'll be on top because of the round one head-to-head where J-Lift beat FHS. Right, Varl?
So it doesn't actually matter what the round one head-to-head is, because the round two is one that divides at the end of the season. So, like, technically, yes, they will, but it doesn't really matter at this point because it matters at the end of the season rather than... Like, I'd rather call it a tie and then the round two head-to-head is...
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, but, in we go, and Jack in the batch chat taking the aggressive spot line on the B7 area, an area that Wargaming opened up recently when they made the changes to the map, making it a little bit harder to push anything into this area because they've added a whole bunch of rubble, a whole bunch of bushes, and the batch chat is definitely a good choice there to play that line. But he does overpeak, and he does get a shot here from Trouser Snake as he tries to get into cover here. He's going to eat another as well. Wow, where did that shot come from?
I believe it was.
It's working, but not very well.
I don't know where that shot. Like that was a needle thread into him from the second shot for that second shot there.
Not actually, but it'll roll high enough. That's going to come back to bite them. Here's Jack cranking out as much damage as he possibly can before he goes down. 766, but beyond Toronto, able to pick him up here in that bad chat from the gap down there. But you know, Popcorn taking that bleed down a solid amount of HP here. These 2277s are kind of pinned. They're getting pinched in here. Wall hacks and Skip moving up behind them. These 277s with this 50B and E100 from Anakin bearing down upon them. Here's we're seeing a decisive play now coming out from Popcorn onto the double 277 of J-Lift here. They need to clean up these 2277s and support this. Beyond Toronto and his bad chat pushing around now, putting some shots into wall hacks. Wall hacks dropping down to 691 damage. Shots to be able to pick him up here. Trying to hide himself from Jan Toronto, able to pick up here. Jan Toronto on reload, trying to break contact here as Trouser Snake will drop down with one more shot as well as that IS-4. But it's looking pretty, interesting right now as Miles Beach trying to play what he can right here. 11 putting a shot into him. Anakin looking to put another one into him. Can he find the shot? 11 has two more. Putting one into him here. One more is going to be up here. Can he find it? Yes, he does. Now they need to worry about dealing with this IS-4. They've got positions here. Jan Toronto is going to be coming off reload here relatively soon. Anakin,
Anakin's just driving across the open. The Batchat is going to be reloaded. Oh, and he's just going to bleed so much HP. Anakin, what are you doing? You're throwing this. No, Anakin.
You had the high ground, Anakin.
He actually had it. He actually had it. Oh no, Anakin.
Batchat clip though. 11 coming in here in his 50B. Oh God.
Oh, and 11's not going to have enough here, and it's going to be a Popcorn win. Anakin, you were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them.
Oh my God, he brought imbalance to the game series today. Now it's going to tie over to Popcorn. Nothing balanced about that. 11 says, dude, that wasn't me. That was Anakin. This is just doomed.
And I don't know, I don't know what's going on now, but they're gonna let Jan Toronto farm the last little bit of fame. Yeah. Oh, and with that, Popcorn. Wait, what? I guess
what?
I don't know what happened there, but okay.
I'm so why did his tank die?
Well, if you leave before the end of the battle and the battle ends, he'll explode.
Yeah, okay,
so I think that's what happened. Again, the IS-4. 3,600 damage. Jan Toronto and that bat chat getting the farm out on Anakin. I can't... Oh, Jesus. Well, you know what's going to be interesting? The chat.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, dear God. I can't even imagine what is being said up there in their TeamSpeak channel. But Popcorn eking out a win. J-Lift dropping to second place. FHS taking a solid lead now. And Popcorn picking up that win in overtime over J-Lift with a... I don't know how to... Anakin.
Don't even try.
Oh.
Holy 11 fantasy points.
500.
Toronto fantasy
yeah,
points.
really though. 11D and Jan Toronto, the two big fantasy earners here. 11D though, 11 kills. Trouser Snake, 11 kills. Even the pen ratios are good. Well played to both teams. This was a good game series.
This was an awesome series. It ended a little bit cockeyed, but you know, good series nonetheless.
Well, with that will bring an end to night 16 of the SteelSeries Community League. Scott, thank you so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
This was just, I mean,
yep. Oh God, I don't even.
You were supposed to not join them. He gave up the high ground.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
Oh, so many references, so little time. Thank you everybody for joining us. This was night 16 of the SteelSeries Community League. I'm Edge of Insanity. I was joined tonight by Scott Sterling. Please do go and join him in his stream. Give him a follow, a like, a sub.
I'll be casting the extra games this week since we've got our special,
Yeah, yeah, because we did change up the schedule a little bit due to the Thanksgiving holiday for the North Americans or for the U.S. viewers and players, so to give them time with their families. But we will be back on Wednesday with more games, and I hope Scott we get the opportunity to cast together again. This was a lot of fun tonight.
That was pretty funny. I gotta say that I got a good giggle out of a couple of those, and appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Go buy some sleek Danish design headsets from SteelSeries. They're the absolute best. I used to have one. I used to have one until I accidentally broke it. But anyway, appreciate everybody being here, and I'll tip my hat to you. Good night.
Have a good evening, everyone.